ahoy once again to ye mateys! I be your unusually relaxed and chilled out host, Josh the Pirate, and it brings me an amount of joy greater than the GDP of Brussels to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove and Mano a Mano. With me I have my lovely wife, the mother of bunnies. Karen, who the heck are you?
I am, as mentioned, the mother of bunnies, a rabbit enthusiast, an actor, a writer, a general performer, puppeteer. You can listen to my dulcet tones on the D&D podcast, therebedragons.com. New app dropping soon, in which I do a terrible Spanish accent, so you have that to look forward to.
Oh, yes.
You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Instagram, you can follow my naughty puppets on Instagram as well. I was just looking at what comes up in chat these days. That's about it. I'm also in our Humblewood campaign on Thursday nights, which you should also come and listen to because it's fun.
Yes. And I be Josh the Pirate. I do most of those same things. The links are in my thing as well. But you can also check out, honestly, I don't think there's anything I do that Karen doesn't actually also do at the moment. You actually do more stuff than me.
I do.
I've got a game on Phoenixy Wacky, but we don't know when the next one will be, and it'll be the final ep. You can check me out, basically, Art Slut in Perth, do the stuff, puppets, sexy puppets eventually, maybe. And D&D Online. Tonight I will be playing Beryl, Ingots Fury. Going into a spooky house, which is exciting.
And appropriately, it's super windy at our house tonight. Yeah. So there may be atmospheric window rattlings in the background, because I know I can hear my window rattling.
Yeah. I must also remind our clear, visible, and possibly even transparent audience to please like, follow and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have the exclamation mark socials. And the exclamation mark YouTube, which is pretty much up to date. So when I uploaded the last week at one of this, it only did the first hour or so. Don't know why. So I'll fix that in the next couple of days. Then I put this one up, which is fun. The only other thing we need to talk about is Ukraine. Here's the link to the charity that we're choosing to support to help Ukraine. If you have any pennies in the bank, check that shit out. Drop them anything you have, because it'll be groovy and awesome, and there's a lot of people doing it really rough over there. The problem is that's less and less unusual in the world, but there's very little I can do about it. Which is actually one of the biggest problems for people with mental health in our time, I think. Anyway.
Hey, the world's falling apart. I can't do anything.
Should I have children? It might be broken by the time they're old enough to make decisions.
Then they'll be really mad at me because I birthed them into a world that's collapsing around them.
Yeah.
Oh, God!
It's hard. Well,
also,
look.
something blew over outside. I hope it wasn't anything important.
When? When I was in the shower?
No, about
I heard a
15
big
seconds
bang.
ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that was. I have no idea what that bang was. There was just another bang. Again, not sure what it was.
Great.
So, our shed may be collapsing outside, guys. Stay tuned.
We'll find out. It's broken now.
Yeah, it is repairable. It's just, there's not much I can do about it.
Yeah, it's broken now, so we might as well just find out what it was later. I was like, please don't be the giant mirror. I don't think the giant mirror is going anywhere. No, it would have sounded different when that broke. And if it did, then we can dispose of the fucker. The world is broken now, yes. Still repairable. I'm not sure I'd agree with you on that, Nextraconis. I think it's more of a start over from scratch situation. Karen and I were discussing this in the car last night, and I firmly believe that, whilst people aren't the problem, I think we need to start over.
I was just thinking of whenever we move house, we always hit a point where we just fucking hate it and we're done. And we
hit
always
that point
use
this
the quote,
afternoon, didn't we?
And we do the quote from Black Books where
be
they've accidentally junked the really expensive. Like, could we burn the house to the ground? And I'm like, could we burn society to the ground? Just put all the useful people with practical skills in a nice safe spot. Noah's Ark situation. Get all the people with actual skills.
Yeah. Get 2 of each degree.
It is trying to burn itself to the ground. You are
Yeah,
quite
just give it a
correct,
minute.
really.
Yeah.
We just need to wait. Yeah, just wait. It'll burn itself out.
Well,
I just
matey.
realized I don't have any practical skills, so I'm totally not on the boat. I'll just have to be back there with all
Yeah,
of
this is the problem. You need the kind of fantasy apocalypse where your particular skill set would be useful.
I'm a double major. That means something, right? I mean, it's in performance studies and creative writing, but hey, someone's got to write shit down.
You have a master's. That's more of a selling point.
Yeah, but it's in screenwriting, which is really specific and totally useless in world-ending situations.
Like, oh, we need people to write films. Do we? Do we need that? Like, in a scale of, like, species survival, they're not, like, in the top 50 or so preferred skills. Like, I'd take a neurosurgeon over a screenwriter, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'd get kicked off for, like, medical professionals. Or fuck, even a hairdresser would be more useful than me.
7 pairs of the clean animals and flying creatures. Ooh. That's
I'm gonna admit, it's been a while since I read Noah.
Yeah, I haven't read Genesis in ages. Farmers. Oh, okay, like farming animals. Right. Yeah, but not pigs. We don't like pigs. Anyway. Mateys.
Yes.
May no ravens swoop for your eyes, and all the bridges you cross be inhabited by giant pigs, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into a scary house.
Well, man.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, we want farmers. I have a green thumb. That counts, right?
Yes,
I think
I
I've
still have
visited
Beryl open. Excellent.
Yes.
There we go. I
You don't need
realized
Beryl. I need Beryl.
I hadn't opened Garret's character sheet, so there it is. We got Garret on deck.
Yeah.
Oh, next to Connors in like pig
what
used to
happened?
be like forbidden meat. Jews more traditional Jews don't eat pork. And
I know, right? But
Muslims
bacon.
don't eat pork.
Yeah.
There is an amazing song by Tim Minchin called "We Don't Eat Pigs." And it's basically like, you don't eat pigs, we don't eat pigs. Seems it's been that way forever. So if you don't eat pigs and we don't eat pigs, why not eat pigs together? So it's basically about how we could solve religious differences by agreeing that we all shouldn't eat pigs. But yeah, exactly, bacon.
But bacon, yeah.
Bacon.
Mind you, part of the reason I've lost 10 kilos since Christmas is I gave up bacon pretty much.
You've had a little, like,
I occasionally have bacon, but it used to be in most breakfasts. But yeah, bacon, pig, very, like, not a clean animal.
Which historically was a good idea, but nowadays, you're fine.
Nowadays, we can clean it. I don't know what the problem is. Anyway.
Do I take the wheel now?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, okay,
Let's tell this story.
We rejoin our beloved heroine Beryl and her halfling companion and former person she arrested, Garret Dale, as they stand before the slightly spooky and creepy Chalet Brantifax. It stands atop a hill overlooking fog-shrouded scrubland. It has brick walls, sturdy wooden floors with rusty iron hinges and fittings. There is a flock of ravens that were sitting outside, but now that the sun has set, they have flown away. You can see that the windows are encrusted with dirt, and have drapes and wooden shutters in poor condition. Whatever grandeur the chalet possessed in its heyday is gone, replaced by the sight and stench of mold and decay.
Oh.
So it doesn't look very impressive and very creepy. And as I mentioned before, you can see that the roof of the tower has a big old hole in it.
All right.
Hey, Bolly.
Hey, Bolly.
Welcome to Lurk.
Yes. Alrighty. Well, Garret, I think the only time to go into any spooky house is at night, right?
And if I remember
I
correctly,
remember I said almost exactly that last
you
week.
had to roll persuasion, and you succeeded.
Yeah.
You persuaded Garret that the
I got a
best time to
16.
enter this house was at night.
And he thinks I'm insane, but hooved prawns, yeah, terrifying.
Excellent. So, what
Yep.
do you do?
I might do a loop. I might circle the building first. Like Beryl didn't live this long by not knowing the exits to a place. How many other entrances there might be before she raided a building, say. So, yeah, just gonna why don't we do a quick skirt around just to make sure there are more than one way in and out.
Oh, sure. As you wish.
Sorry, Garret, this is sort of my area.
No, that's okay. Garret will follow you slightly nervously.
You get that crossbow out and you cover me, all right?
Yep. He gets his crossbow out and kind of holds it.
I get out my dulcimer. I circle the building. I probably anti-clockwise.
Okay, going anti-clockwise around the house. You rebel, you. Okay, as you walk around the house, so basically the house, of the overall shape of the house, the front part of the house is more or less a square, and then the tower is the opposite side to where you approach the house. So it's at the back corner of the house.
Right.
Is the tower. So if you walk around anti-clockwise, you will reach the back corner with the tower first.
Right. That would be the way I would go. I would want to check out that tower. Yeah.
So you're walking around this way. You can't see any doors. You can see some dirty windows with their broken wooden shutters, dirty drapes. Basically, it's looking pretty overrun. There's weeds. As you round the back corner of the tower, where the tower is, you find what appears to be a graveyard.
Oh, good. I was worried there wasn't a graveyard here. I mean, where else would they put all the bodies? Thank goodness this is here.
Find the... Oh, sorry. There should be a description of the graveyard. Oh, there it is. Ooh. Sorry. I had 2 pages that were stuck together and I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my god, where's the graveyard gone? So, a 7-foot tall wrought iron fence encloses a small graveyard south of the chalet. Set into the north side of the enclosure is a gate with the name Brantifax worked into an arch above it. In the yard are 4 graves, each marked with an engraved headstone.
Oh, so it's not a huge graveyard. Okay.
No, it is a small graveyard.
Very private. I like that.
So
how close do I have to get to read the names on the gravestones?
So these graves are quite worn down by time and weather. So you probably have to go in and walk up to a grave if you want. All right.
The headstone said. Just out of, and never has the phrase morbid curiosity been more appropriate. I would go up to the graves. I probably wouldn't need to tell him to, but Garret would probably not follow me in. I would just say, you just wait here. I just want to see if I know any names.
I'll just stay here by the gate.
Any ravens in or around the graveyard?
Nope. You can't even see the raven that has been following you.
That is interesting. Yeah. What names?
Okay, so you go in and you go up to read the gravestones?
Sure. I would deliberately, I would try to determine where the body would be and definitely not step on that.
Well, they all have headstones, so
yeah.
you can tell.
Normally you can tell where the body would be lying. The other thing I would be doing would be sort of checking for passively magical energy around about the place.
Okay.
Like an arcana check see if my magical senses are tingling.
Okay.
Specifically the graveyard.
Specifically the graveyard. So you're going to go to all 4 graves?
I'd read the first one.
First one?
The nearest one to the gate.
the nearest one to the gate. It reads, Baron Brantifax, husband, father, hunter. Let no man stand above another.
Cool.
How close do you get to this gravestone?
How close do I need to get to read it and no closer, basically?
You need to get 5 feet away.
Okay, I would get to 5 feet.
And you're making a point not to like stand on where the body would be buried?
Definitely.
Yeah? Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Being
Nothing
deeply
happened?
respectful. Cool.
You are in a graveyard at night,
Excellent.
reading a gravestone.
Fantastic. Does I'll make the Arcana check.
Yep.
17.
Nothing.
Cool. Great. I read the others.
Okay, you go to the next grave.
With the expectation this is the Baron's family.
Well, the next one says Braun, Hound of Brantifax, faithful to the end.
Aww.
The third grave reads Haluth, our pride and joy, lost too soon.
Aww.
And if you'd like to roll another Arcana check.
Okay. Good. 12.
You get a bit of a bad feeling off this grave.
Haluth.
Yeah, Haluth's grave, you get a little bit of a not so great feeling.
Okay. Interesting. Is there anything unusual about the grave visibly?
It looks exactly like the others.
No disturbed earth. Like one presumes this is like it's grassy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Groovy. And the last one?
Reads Sulfine, beloved daughter, may she find peace at last.
Okay.
And if you roll another Arcana check.
Yep. 19.
Ooh, you get a really dodgy feeling off this grave.
Super groovy. Excellent. I make a note of those names. Haluth and what?
Sylphene. Sylphene.
Sylphene. And Haluth?
Haluth.
Okay.
This grave spells a little and Sylphene spells a lot.
I'm like, cool, groovy. Both taken before their time by the looks of it. Sounds great. Yep. Beryl files that information away, does not share it with Garret, and goes, well, these have all been dead for a long time. I don't think they're going to be bothering us. I might, are there any, like, wildflowers around?
Not really. It's mainly weeds and...
Yeah. Even just like daisies or,
roll a nature check.
9.
Yeah, nah, sorry.
No, that's all right.
It's night. Any flowers will probably have shut up shop for the day.
That's true. That is true. All right. Do I still have my flower crown?
That was a couple of days ago, so it's probably like...
It's probably about a week ago, actually.
Yeah, it's probably dead.
Yeah.
It's probably dead.
Damn. Yeah. Oh, well. I'd like to make a minor illusion of some flowers. And I would minor illusion them, floating them down onto the gravestones of the two, of Sylphine and Haluth.
Cool. You do so, nothing happens.
I do that. And then probably when I get 30 feet away from them, they disappear. But, yeah.
Symbolic gesture.
It is. Yeah. I don't even say anything to Garret about it. I would just, like, go inside. Or continue our circuit.
Continue your circuit?
Yeah.
You continue to see brick walls, closed dirty windows, broken shutters and drapes. As you get around to if you're heading south, this would be sorry. I'm bad. This is the east side of the house. You've reached
Uh-huh.
the east side of the house.
Yep.
You can see several steps leading up to a door.
Oh.
This is almost back to the front of the house. You wouldn't have been able to see this door from the front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
It is just around to the east side.
Yeah, right. And sort of a servant's entrance, a back door, or...
This is the only door you've seen so far.
Oh, okay, right. I assumed there was one in the way we'd come at it from. No, cool, all right.
This is
there
the
you
only
go.
door you've seen that goes
In. Alrighty. Well, there's our ingress. I wonder if there's a second door. I would keep going. I would do a full loop.
Okay. You get back around to the front of the house. That appears to be the only door.
Okay. All right.
And it appears to be one door into the chalet.
Well, looks like that one's our entrance. I would go the quickest way, whichever way is faster to
You
get
just
back to it.
hop back around to the east side. It's at the top of the east side.
Sure.
So if you just walk around to that side of the house, bam, there it
Yeah.
is at the front.
All right. Well, Garret, shall we?
Okay. If you're still sure about this.
No, I am not. But no one ever found treasure by taking it cautious, you know?
I suppose. And he's kind of clutching his crossbow.
Yeah.
Look at
Also,
all
I do
this.
not want to sleep outside tonight.
Fair. That's fair.
Maybe there'll be a nice fireplace we could light. And
Do you look up at the house at all before you go inside?
how do you mean look up? Like check out the upper floors or
There are at least 2 stories above.
I would have, as I was circling it, been looking for any signs of movement or life inside.
Roll a perception check.
Sure. 12.
12. You think you see a light in one of the windows. Not a very bright light, a dim light.
Okay,
You're not 100% sure.
I note the window. Upstairs, downstairs?
This will be on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Top floor of the house.
Great.
But you're not 100% sure.
Sure.
Might have been a light, might have been nothing.
Might have been a reflection or something. Yeah. I would, sort of note which window that would be in relation to where we're entering from and probably try and make my way up to it relatively speedily, but it wouldn't be my okay, let's go straight to the 3rd floor and look for the thing I didn't see, Garret, not at all.
It would have been not from the tower, but from one of the part of the building adjacent to the tower.
Right, okay. So, yeah, before I even open the door, I would like to check to see if this door has been opened recently.
Roll an investigation? Perception?
Survival?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm arguing for that. Investigation would be better.
Investigation then. Why are you arguing with me? Don't argue with the DM. Roll the dice!
9.
9. You don't think so.
Cool. Is it locked?
Try the handle.
I try the handle.
The door...
Very gently.
The handle appears to be unlocked.
Well, that's convenient. Don't have to demonstrate how good I am at picking locks. Totally useful skill for a professional watchman, and that's all. That's the only reason. Anyway, let's go in. I enter.
When you try to open the door, you can't.
Yeah.
It's like
So the
something...
handle turns, but there's something blocking it.
The handle turns, the door is not locked, but something is stopping it from opening.
Does it give a little bit?
Yeah, you can wiggle the door a little bit, but you can't push it open.
It's like there's something blocking it from the inside, not a lock part of the door itself. And it's not a stuck hinge.
No.
No, okay. None of this is very useful. I mean, I could just Misty Step through it. I need to be able to see where I'm going.
No, you can always see if you can see through the little bit of the door you can open.
Yeah. Or I could just go up to a window. Can I see, can I get my eye, it's am I able to get even a crack open that I could see what's through the door?
You can get a tiny crack that you put your eye up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Roll a perception check.
Yes. 17.
17. There appears to be a wooden plank or something across the door. So you can see the gap, that it's blocked by wood, and then a gap. So it looks like there's a bit of wood across.
Okay.
That is holding the door closed.
Now that's interesting. Are there any windows on the ground floor?
There are windows to the ground floor if you go not into the room where the door goes into, but you can look in the windows of the next room.
Sure.
And the one around the front.
Well, Garret, that's interesting. Someone's barred this from the inside.
Oh, should we not go in then?
Well, I really don't think shouting out was... It feels like not the right move.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. That being said, if someone lives here, we'd be just crashing the party. But there's no lights on, and it's not that late. I wouldn't expect people to be asleep already. And there's no smoke coming out of the chimneys or nothing.
It doesn't look lived in.
No. I wouldn't have said that there's... I mean, what do you think? Does it look like anyone's come in through this door in a while? I would have said no, given particularly that it's been hammered shut.
Did I get you to do an investigation for that one?
Yes. I would also look for, footprints. That's why I was suggesting survival, I suppose.
If you would like to roll a survival check to specifically look for footprints, you may do so.
Crit fail.
Yeah, yeah. If there are, you can't tell.
It's dark.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, Garret only got a 3 on his investigation. So he's just like, doesn't look like it.
Yeah, no. Okay, cool.
Shout out to my amazing Wooten Forge dice box, by the way, which just smells really good. I brought it over here and I was like, smells like polished wood.
It says the stream command says that Wooden Forges are sponsored. They're not. We're just friends. And they sponsored us the last time we asked them to, and they're groovy people. Head on over to their place and check their shit. Woodenforge.com for some awesome and groovy stuff.
It smells like nice wood.
It's such nice stuff. You've got Tassie Blackwood as well, don't you?
I don't think it's Blackwood. It's very light.
Oh, no, it's not. It's too light for Blackwood.
I think it was maple or something.
Maple, yeah. That sounds about right.
Whatever it is, it smells really nice.
Alrighty,
I'm probably just huffing the varnish like crazy.
I think they're oiled, not varnished.
Oh.
Mine's not varnished.
Okay. You have a choice, Beryl. You can go find a window to see if you can look through.
I'm going to try and Jimmy open a window. I don't want to break down the door.
Oh, okay. You don't want to break down the door? Sure. Okay.
I figure I probably could. I'm pretty confident I have a crowbar. So, reasonably confident I could get in. What have I got here? I've got oil, sealing wax. Oh, I don't have a crowbar. I need to get one of them. I've got 1 sheet of paper. Oh, I've got 5 sheets of paper. Weird. Sealing wax. Yeah.
If you, so Garret has a crowbar.
Ah, splendid.
If you want to borrow a crowbar.
Of course he does. Well, let's see if we can get in through a window first, if there's any unlocked windows. I don't want to break a window. Again, that would be rude. And particularly with the vibes I got off the gravestones. I'm not going to say I'd like to do a vibe check because I'm pretty confident the vibe I'm getting is creepy as fuck.
So you have a choice. There's I forget what it's called, where there's a bit that juts out with windows. It's it's got 3 little sides that juts out the front of the house.
Hey, Jaeger Larson.
There's a term for it, but I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, a bay window.
Bay window, thank you. If you go around to your right, to the north side of the house, there is a bay window.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you head back towards the graveyard, there is a small double window that looks into the room that presumably is next to the room, the door.
I like that one. Let's do that. Double window.
Hey, Jaeger 08 Larson. Welcome to the party. We're at a very creepy house at night.
Yes. Beryl and her friend Garret are trying to get in to a totally not haunted house. Totally
not
not.
haunted.
Totes not.
Did we say this was from Candlekeep Mysteries? This one's from Candlekeep Mysteries.
Yep, this is a Candlekeep mystery. This is the Book of the Raven. Which I have not read.
All right, so you go around to this double window.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to try and look through the window first?
Yes. Yeah. I will use prestidigitation to make some light inside if necessary.
Okay. You look in and you see what appears to be a kitchen.
Great.
So there's like pots hanging from hooks on the walls. You can see like a cupboard full of dishes. There's cleaning supplies. There's cooking utensils. You can see if you wait a few seconds, you'll see a mouse across the floor.
I do.
Okay, and I would like you to roll a perception check for me.
I will. To 18.
18. You can see remarkably well into this kitchen from this dirty window.
Great.
So you can see there are some dirty dishes stacked by the wash basin. So it appears that someone has been in here and used it recently.
Interesting.
Like, it's dirty, it is not in tip-top condition, but someone has come in here and stacked their dirty dishes next to the sink.
Is the window locked? Does it open?
The window is not locked.
I would try it. I would open the window.
Congratulations.
There you go, Garret. I help Garret inside because I imagine he's probably not tall enough to easily climb in.
Yeah, Garret will need a boost to get inside.
Yeah. I would get him first and then sort of haul him in after.
All right. I would like you to roll athletics or acrobatics to get inside.
Is this for me to get inside? I would ask him for a boost because he's actually stronger than I am.
He is. He's a very strong little halfling.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, if you cup your hands and give me a leg up, then I'll help you in.
Cool. He gives you a boost, so you can roll athletics with advantage to climb into the kitchen.
Athletics with advantage. That's a 3. Or a 4. A 2.
Wow. You try, but there's like moss growing on the windowsill, and you lose your grip, and you don't successfully climb into the window. You lose your grip and...
All right, here, let's try this. And I cup my hands and give him a boost.
He hesitates, and then he goes for it. So he's going to roll an athletics check with advantage.
I mean, if you were adding my dex instead of my acrobatics, if it was acrobatics instead of athletics, I'd have gotten like an 8. Still not great.
Wasn't even a high DC.
No, I know.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Garret rolled a natural 20.
Straight up throw him inside.
Yeah, you yeet him into the room, and he lands like superhero landing inside on the dirty kitchen floor, and a mouse like piss bolts.
Is there a chair in there or something you could pass out to me?
Look, it doesn't explicitly say there's a chair, but I'm willing to say there's a chair, so he'll pass you out a chair.
A stool or something like.
Yeah, there'll be like a stool or something in this kitchen.
Yeah. And I use the stool as a step to get in, and he helps me through. Maybe
I won't make you roll.
Lacking in grace, but I get it.
You're using a chair to climb in. He's inside. You're going to get inside this time.
I'm a medium-sized person.
Now you are inside the kitchen. The ghostly scent of meals past still haunts this space, forever trapped in the wood of its tables, the soot in its hearth, and the grime in its pots that hang on hooks around the room. And yes, now you're inside, you can see even more clearly that someone's been in here recently.
Like recently, so the dishes are dirty and like
the dust has been disturbed.
Right, and the dishes aren't dusty.
No, they're dirty, but they're not dusty.
Was a meal prepared in here?
Yes.
Okay.
Someone hasn't cleaned it up, but they've used it.
Is the hearth warm?
You can go and check.
I would. Investigation. 12.
Nope. It's cold.
That's good. Is there water in the sink?
Nope.
Good.
Sink's empty.
Good. Okay, well... Garret, I don't want to alarm you, but someone was here just... I would say recently, but not in the last few hours.
Okay. I kind of thought that. I don't know. Should we poke around, like look in a cupboard or something? What do you want to do?
Sure, I mean, let's look in a cupboard.
Oh.
I'm peckish.
All right, you roll to investigate the kitchen.
All right, I will investigate the kitchen. Oh, 9.
9. You find some, clearly, like,
Would Garret be helping me?
Sure, Garret.
Or is Garret doing it himself?
Garret's kind of following your lead.
Okay, all right. Garret's helping then.
He's still a little creeped out.
I got a 12.
Okay, a 12. You find some food rations.
Great. Oh, okay.
You find some food rations and some spices that have been put inside pots, so the mice can't get to them.
Oh, where was this when we had the pig? Oh well.
Do you take it?
Remind me once we've ascertained exactly whose house this is to maybe purloin some of this for the next time I have to cook a wild pig on the road.
Noted, Miss Beryl. That's all you find. There is no magical treasure hidden in the kitchen as far as you can tell.
Dang it! I would check the floor for a trap door. Not a trap door, but like a lifty uppy go down into the basement-y.
Sort of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I basically just look for a ring hold on the floor that I could open up a hole. Presuming there's no carpet.
No, there's no carpet. It's a kitchen. Roll an investigation check.
Yep, 10.
You can't find it.
Great.
There's no trapdoor.
Probably isn't.
I realize I forgot to mention when you entered the kitchen, if you're looking northwards on the right-hand side, there are some stairs going up, and there to the left of the stairs is a door that would head back towards where the outer door would be.
I would creak open that door first.
Okay. You creak open that door.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself in the cloakroom.
Huh. Okay.
Rusty iron hooks line the walls of the entrance foyer. Hanging from 2 of these hooks is a shovel and a rake. Well used, but abandoned currently.
Dirty?
Not dirty, just, they're not new.
Okay. And...
dusty cloak is draped over a hook next to the door.
Dusty as in hasn't been used in a while?
Yes, the cloak is dusty. There is dust on the cloak. It's hung up and it is dusty.
Is there dust on the tools?
Yes.
Cool.
They haven't been moved for a while. And now if you move into this room from the kitchen, or you're just standing in the doorway?
I'm standing in the doorway. I'd like to look at the floor.
There's nothing remarkable about it. It's
no footprints or anything in the dust.
Roll an investigation check to see if you can see footprints.
Ah, god damn it. Crit 1.
Yeah, no, it just looks dirty. You're not sure.
Okay. Basically, what I want to do is determine when the door was boarded up.
Unfortunately, you're not sure. But you can see that the door that goes to the outside, it has a wooden crossbar.
Yeah. Oh. Like a beam, like you can lift out?
You can lift it out. So there's brackets on either side.
Okay, so it wasn't like hammered shut.
No, it hasn't been hammered shut. The door's not locked, but someone has put the crossbar down.
Right. Yeah, it's blowing a hoolie out there.
It's windy tonight.
Yeah. Supposed to be raining. It keeps promising to rain, and it doesn't.
Gonna rain, and then it just gets windy.
It's like totally 100% all night. I was like, sure, I'll believe it when I see it. Get to it. I can't smell it.
Being a Perth person who wants rain is just an endless cycle of excitement and disappointment.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I would. I'm not going to touch the door.
You didn't touch the door? Okay.
I considered removing the crossbeam, but actually I don't want to. If we're sneaking around, I don't want to change things in such a way that if somebody else is here, they're like, hey, who opened the door? I don't want to do that. All right. Is there any other exits to this room?
Yes, there is another door to your left.
All right.
That appears
that keeps going on.
This would go into the room where the bay window was.
Right, I'll go in there then.
Okay. The door is not locked. And you go in. So you don't touch anything in the cloakroom, you just leave everything as it is?
I don't think there looks to be anything worth touching. If I've established that none of it's been used or touched or used and interfered with in a while, I would not interfere with it either.
Okay, we'll leave them things as they are. No problem. Okay. You go through this door into the den.
Are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying putting that on? Like, oh, okay.
You don't touch anything?
You don't want to touch a thing. All right. You don't touch a thing.
You want to disturb anything? Maybe move the shovel or look at the cloak? No? Okay, just leave it.
I rotate the shovel through 180 degrees.
Nothing happens. You've
I
moved
twist
your shovel.
one of the candelabras on the wall.
I didn't say there was a candelabra on the wall.
I know, I'm being silly.
Yes,
I put the candle back.
Right.
I go into the room with the bay window.
You open the door and you go into the room with the bay windows. Yes, as you enter the room, you can see the inside of the bay window on your right. Directly opposite you is a fireplace. Light enters this spacious room through a bulge in the north wall where cracked and broken windows look out over the foggy vale outside. Dusty sheets cover most of the room's furnishings. Cobwebs stretch between the antlers, wolf heads, and other hunting trophies mounted on the walls. A pale rectangle above the large fireplace suggests that a picture or mirror once hung there.
Ooh, now that's interesting.
There is, directly to your left, is a staircase going
up.
Hang on, let me just check which way is that going. Oh no, hang on, sorry. I cocked up. That staircase comes out of the kitchen, not the den. Sorry. I thought it was...
So there's no staircase?
There's no staircase.
Okay.
I do apologize. Yeah, when you're in the kitchen, there was a door on your left, and that went to the staircase.
Yeah,
sorry,
that's what I knew that one.
So in the kitchen, there are stairs going up, and there are stairs going down.
Oh, okay. Cool.
There are two staircases. I thought the other one was in the other room. I misread the map. That
makes sense. It would be a logical place to have. So there was some going down below ground.
Yes.
Ooh. All right. Well, let's do a loop of this first before we go back to the kitchen. Yeah, I'd look under some of the sheets just to determine what manner of room this was supposed to be. I'm guessing such as sort of a sunroom, a sitting room, that sort of comfy lounge situation.
Oh no, shit! I'm gonna eat. What? This map is confusing the fuck out of me. Hang on. Those go up to. So where's the stairs that go down? Hang on, sorry. Give me 30 seconds just to try and work out. Yeah. So that's staircase.
Oh.
That's really confusing. Okay. So the staircase in the kitchen, you can go up or down.
Right.
There are choices there. That's confusing.
Okay. There isn't a staircase in this room, though.
There is a staircase in this room. I was right the first time.
Going up or down?
Yes.
Up.
There is, in fact, a creaky wooden staircase with a beautifully carved banister.
Ooh.
Leading
like a big
upstairs.
wide staircase?
Yes, this is a
The main stairs.
Staircase. This is a statement staircase, and it leads up
Oh,
to a small
okay.
landing, and there's a door at the top.
All right. Is there any other exits?
Yes. Also to your left, you can see a door that is partially opened leading into another room, and there appears to be a passageway at the far side.
Well, I've just remembered that we're here for treasure. Or
Yes.
something.
We are here for treasure. no offense if you like that sort of thing, but I don't consider those stag eggs to be treasure. I feel like they're watching me.
No. I've never really understood it. I don't care for hunting. Not as a sport. I like it for food, you know. But yeah, look, it's a thing I killed. Yay! It sort of feels unnecessary to me. Those animals are just like hunting animals. They're not. There's no mythical creatures up there as well.
No, they're just.
Okay. It's
if
like
someone went out
stags
to the
and
forest,
boar and
shot
yeah.
some shit.
Okay.
You would have been.
There's no
safe to assume
periton.
that someone here liked going hunting.
Fair,
In
and
the
you know.
traditional sense of the word.
Yep. Cool. Cool. I'd like to check the room out just for valuables.
Yep. Roll an investigation check.
Oh, that was so close to a 20. A 6.
Nothing here seems particularly valuable.
Yeah, no.
A lot of dusty animal heads and old furniture.
Yeah. Oh, well. Well, let's keep going, Garret.
Where would you like to go? You can go down the hallway at the far end of the room, you can go into the partially open door also to your left, or you can go up to the main staircase also to your left.
Partially open door.
Partially open door.
I would probably make a stealth check if the door is partially open. I would make a stealth check as soon as I notice that the door is partially open.
Okay, a roll a stealth check.
And gesture for Garret to do the same. Oh, for Pete's sake. Not one.
This is an old house. The floors are creaky.
Creaky as fuck.
It's just creaking away, unfortunately.
Wow.
Garret rolled a 12, so he got a 15, but because he's smaller and lighter than you,
Yeah.
he's just not making the floor creak as much. But
Yeah.
you were creaking as you walked.
Like, I'm creeping around and every single time
Yeah.
I'm like,
Every step is another floorboard that just goes...
and my eyes just go, sorry, Garret, I'm heavier than you.
Okay.
Yeah, get to the door and have a look.
Alright, this is the parlor.
Oh, lovely.
The centerpiece of this parlor is a gold inlaid low table around which a handful of overstuffed chairs and sofas are neatly arranged. Other furniture includes a cabinet full of glass decanters and wine goblets, and a 6-foot-tall gilded harp standing in the northwest corner.
Ooh.
This furniture has been uncovered, and the dusty sheets are lying in a heap.
Why, that's interesting. Hey, Thamio.
I'm heavier than... Yeah, we've got a dwarf and a halfling, so technically, yes, the dwarf.
It's a lady admitting that she's heavier by a significant margin than the gentleman who is accompanying
She's also
her.
2 foot taller than him, so...
Yeah.
You'd
She's
hope
a
she'd
dwarf.
weigh
Dwarves
about-
are heavier than halflings. That's canon, I'm afraid. But yeah. Hey, Thamio, good to see you. She is rolling dog shit. This is very much balancing out last week's amazing rolling. 2 crit fails, maybe 3
Crit
so
fails
far.
Doing great.
No crit successes yet. Alrighty. I'd like to look at the floor as well to see how disturbed the dust is. One assumes very.
Roll an investigation.
Come on. 19.
19. Excellent work. So clearly this room got really dusty, and then someone removed the dust sheets. So the
Adding,
sheets are
therefore, to the dust on the floor.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can see in the dust on the floor that the sheets have been moved.
Yep.
That being said, this room isn't exactly clean.
Yep.
Like, it's in better nick because obviously it was covered up for a while.
Yep.
But, no one's in here dusting
Yep.
regularly.
Yep. So the question is there footprints in the dust?
You'll have to roll a survival check.
Very well. Oh my god! Another one. That is a 2.
This floor's just dusty. There's like streaks and smears everywhere. So it's a bit confusing.
Damn it. Alright. I don't see any. I would probably... Is there any other exits to this room?
There is another door. If you are facing south, the door is on your right, which is the direction of the corridor you have yet to.
Okay, I'll go up the corridor instead, I think.
So you're going to go back out and around and down the corridor?
Yeah.
Excellent. Find yourself in what appears to be a dining room.
Ah, good.
This is the bottom floor of the tower. So this room, rather than the others, is round. It's not a square room, it is a round room. You're in the bottom floor of the tower. So this is the circular chamber at the base of the tower. There is a large oak dining table surrounded by 6 high-back chairs carved with images of stags. Suspended above the table is a gaudy chandelier. It's hanging from rope from the ceiling. There are puddles of water on the stone floor in here. So there are 3 narrow broken windows that are spaced around the tower wall. And that is where the water has been coming in from.
Oh, dear.
The spacing of the puddles is like, oh, water's been coming through the window, collecting on the floor.
Yeah, right.
There is a fireplace in this room as well. It is blackened by soot, but generally the room appears unused.
Okay. Yeah, let's have a look for valuables and signs of use.
Okay, roll an investigation check, please.
12.
You don't find anything of value in this room.
Wow.
And there are no signs of recent disturbance to this room either.
Okay, well, that's good. How many chairs would there be around the table?
There are 6 chairs around.
Okay. How big is the room?
The diameter would be about 25 feet.
Okay, alright. So you could theoretically, if you were in here, cast Fireball and not get scorched your own self. Noted.
Yes.
Noted. I don't have Fireball. Alright, carry on.
Alright, where do you want to go next?
Through the door that is there any other doors other than the one that I assume goes to the music room?
Yes. When you
parlor.
went down the hallway, you would have passed a door on your left side, which would match up with the one in the parlor.
Alright, okay.
There is no door into the tower. It is just an open...
Oh, okay, right. Sure.
Open space.
Yeah, I'd go back and say, well, Garret, I think that's it for down here. Nothing of value. But bear in mind, I suppose probably what we're looking for is whoever owned the map? What was the rhyme on the map?
Let's return to the mysterious map. The rhyme on the map you followed said, follow the trail to the Hand and Horn, past 3 Tree Hill over River Warn, to the Worm's Mark and the Foggy Moors. West of there, the treasure's yours.
West of there, the treasure's yours. Alright. And there's treasure here, but, you know, you don't normally hide treasure well above ground. Why don't we go back to the kitchen and go downstairs?
Okay. So is your plan? You return to the kitchen and go down the stairs?
Yep.
Okay. You go down the stairs. You can see down the flight of stairs, and then there is a corner and more stairs.
Great. I'd probably light a torch at this point, because I've been just prestidigitating or minor illusioning light.
Oh. When you get to the bottom of the stairs, there's a door.
I'd like to do a vibe check of this door, like probably a magical one. So
okay.
Arcana.
Do an Arcana check.
14.
It's a door.
Okay, good. I open the door unless it's locked.
The door is not locked. You open
Okay.
it. This causes a change in air pressure in this lower floor of the house, and you hear Another door further inside swing open.
As in, high pressure outside, low pressure inside, so it causes gust of wind to go past us into the downstairs, and then pushes another door further on.
Yeah, like I wouldn't go so far to say as you feel a rush of wind go past you, but you know sometimes when you open a door, you feel the air pressure shift, you hear another door swing open, and I would like you to roll... Oh, what is your passive wisdom?
My passive wisdom is 12.
12.
Yeah. My passive insight is 14, but my passive perception is 12.
No, unfortunately, it just sounds like a little whisper and then a door opening.
Okay.
That is what you hear.
Yeah, my passive wisdom are two different things because of my proficiency level, so it's wisdom or perception are different.
Oh, okay, so what is perception?
My passive perception is 12, my passive insight is 14.
Oh, okay. No, we're specifically perception.
Perception,
Wisdom
yeah.
perception, so. Cool.
Cool, because my passive wisdom is 10.
You can now see a storage cellar. This is the room before you. It's a cold, damp, oddly shaped cellar. There's 8-foot-high wooden ceiling and flagstone floor. The walls are made of rough mortared bricks. Thick cobwebs cover crates, barrels, and old furniture stacked against the north wall. To the south are a pair of closed wooden doors. Sorry, one of them is closed, and the other one is presumably the one that has swung open.
Slightly ajar. Yeah.
And there's clearly another space beyond there.
Great. Oh, now this is more like it. Something that clearly hasn't been opened in ages. Hell yeah. Here we go. All right, Garret. You ready?
I'm ready.
Great. We go. I do a once-over of the stuff in the storage cellar. Just find out what it is. And discover huge quantities of gunpowder and be mildly perturbed.
Roll an investigation check to investigate the stuff stacked in the stuff.
Oh my god, 7. Thank God for that +4.
Oh, yeah. The crates and barrels are empty.
Okay.
And there's the old furniture, there's some chairs.
Yeah.
A hutch. Old stuffed chair, an empty cabinet, small desk, and a coat rack.
Okay.
All very dusty.
Small
Probably
desk,
spiders.
you say? I would probably investigate the desk. Just to see if there's any papers or anything in it.
Roll an investigation check.
Okay. Better this time. Nope, exactly the same.
Well, it's empty anyway, so.
Good. Fucking digital randomizer.
There's a big old fly in my study right now. Sitting on my monitor. Yeah. Whole bunch of empty shit. Dirty, empty shit.
Great.
Okay, but you have the 2 doors further down.
Yeah.
One
I
is
go to
partially
the...
open, one is closed.
I go to the jar.
The ajar door.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
The door that is ajar.
This is a cold, damp, circular room, and in the middle is a 4-foot diameter well sunk into the floor.
Huh.
Next to the well is a wooden bucket fastened to a coiled length of rope. The bottom of the shaft is veiled in darkness.
Not for long, it's not.
Do you approach the well?
Yeah. I would listen first. Actively perceive for problems.
Yeah, cool. Roll a perception check for me, please.
13.
Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Okay. I don't really have any sort of skills that might be useful in this situation. Features and traits. Song of Rest, Jack of all trades, expertise, bonus proficiency, cutting words, dark vision. I can see in the dark, it's worthy to know. Like, up to 60 feet.
Up to 60 feet. Okay, you'll have to go and look down into the well.
I would go and look down into the well, but yeah.
Alright, I would like you...
This is a very gingerly, like a...
You're trying to see the bottom.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perception?
Hang on, just let me double check something.
When it's a DM saying it, all excellents do sound ominous, yes.
I say excellent a lot as well, so it could mean something, could mean nothing. Yes, I would like you to roll another perception check for me.
Excellent. 19.
Ooh, you hear a very soft whispering voice.
Great.
It says, Braun, where are you, boy? Sorry, Braun, where are you, boy?
Down in the well.
Down in the well, you can hear a whispering voice saying, Braun, where are you, boy?
Okay. Braun was the name of the dog.
It was the name of the dog. And you can see at the bottom of the shaft, because conveniently, the well is 60 feet deep, and you can see 60 feet with your dark vision. So congratulations, you can see what's at the bottom of the well.
Yay, dwarf.
You can see shallow water at the bottom.
As one would hope, with a well. Hey, Spino. Good to see you. Thanks for joining.
I was just looking down into a well, and someone called out for the dog down there.
Now, you say, I can see water down there. I can't see any person, say a glimmering woman in a pale white dress. Look, that's probably for the best. I can hear them, but not see them. I look at Garret. Can he hear this?
Let us have Garret roll a perception check.
And I don't go like, it's more of a, like, just checking. Did he hear that? Do I need to calm him down? Sort of.
Garret only rolled a 6, so Garret
Great.
didn't hear shit.
That's fine. That's probably for the best. I'm like, okay. Not a bad thing to have in your basement. Have a well.
Would you like to know what you can tell about the voice?
Yes.
It is an older man's voice.
Oh. Now that's interesting. Because you said it in your voice, I was assuming it was a young woman.
Yes, sorry, that's why I asked, because I was just like, I didn't actually clarify what.
Thank
sort
you
of
for
voice
specifying. That's much
Garret.
more interesting. Deaf as fuck. Look, that's
Garrett's not in tune
for his
with the
own
spirit.
peace of mind. That's probably for the best.
Yes. I will also tell you that the inside of the well, the walls are quite rough, so you could probably climb down them if you wanted.
I do not want to. Have no powerful need to go down the well yet. Let's go and look at other things. I will search literally the rest of the house until I find a reason to go down that well. And if I do not find anything else, then maybe I will investigate the bottom of the well.
If you say this out loud, Garrett's like, that sounds sensible.
I'm glad you agree. Because honestly, you're the smaller one.
Oh, you make me go to... Oh, right. Look, that's sensible, but still, you know.
That being said, you're the stronger one as well, so maybe you winch me down.
I could probably manage that.
My old... The watch leader back in Alfheim used to say, never send someone to do something you yourself would not be prepared to do. So you can thank him for that.
I will.
Oh yeah, I will not be drinking the well water, Spina. Does it smell fresh?
Smells like a well.
Yeah, but like it doesn't smell like nasty water down there, like
no.
stagnant.
Just smells
Good.
like water.
That's good. He said so. I do not agree, however. You will be going down the well. No.
We're going to do rock, paper, scissors for it, and you're going down the fucking well. Alright.
Alright. Yep, back to the other room. The room the door was closed.
Alright. This door is stuck.
Great. That's good. Would Beryl know how long you have to leave somewhere closed to generate a difference in air pressure?
I know, Van Glue. So,
Yeah, this is beyond Josh's ken.
yeah,
I'm assuming a long
have
time.
to Google how long.
Yeah.
I imagine it long enough for the temperature to be different, I suppose.
Yeah, but that would be like, because that's true. That would be what causes it.
It'd
Would
be
be
warm air rushing down.
a change of atmospheric pressure is caused by the atmosphere literally compresses when it gets colder.
So however long it would need to be closed for that room to get colder than the top floor.
Two or 3 days.
It's a cellar, so
Yeah.
it's going to be cold anyway.
Well, there is
That's the point.
insulation though, but it should be cold by design. So for the ambient temperature to lower to the point where it causes that, you think not long or quite a long time?
See, I don't know. This is...
Don't worry about it then. It's if you don't know and the book hasn't said, then it's not relevant.
The
so
book
that's
is
fine.
not specified.
Okay, then it's not relevant. The door is stuck but not locked.
Yeah. You can investigate the door to see if you can work out why it is not opening. If you
I would, check the hinges and so forth. 19.
The door looks swollen.
Oh.
Like
As
damp.
in, like, with wet.
Yeah, like it's gotten damp and it's swollen and it's stuck in the frame. So, if you put a bit of muscle into
Bit
it,
of
you can
oomph.
probably get it open.
Well, then let's try that crowbar of yours. That's nice and quiet.
Are you going to do it or are you going to ask Garret to do
No, I will ask Garret to do it. He is much stronger. I will help him.
it? Okay,
I
Garret's
will
going to
provide
roll.
him the help action.
Garret's going to roll a strength check with
In
advantage.
fact, you know what? I am going to give him bardic inspiration.
What does that do?
He can add a d6 to the roll. If he needs it. As in, like, he can roll it, and then if he rolls quite low...
He doesn't need your inspiration.
Well, then
rolled a
he-
6.
He has for 10 minutes, he has a d6 to add. And I was like, you got this, Garret. I believe in you.
Thanks, Miss Beryl. And he, like, shoves the crowbar into the door frame and, with a bit of a grunt, pushes it and the door pops open.
Nice.
Inside is a cold, windowless room that contains a pair of wood-framed beds, 2 narrow wardrobes, and an old rug. Mounted on the east wall between the beds is a wooden shelf supporting a pair of candlesticks. The candlesticks in them are used but currently unlit. It's safe to assume this was the servants' room.
Okay, alright. Okay, I had, this guy had 2 daughters. I'm real upset about this. No, alright, that's fine. And hasn't been used in ages. Dust on the floor.
Yeah.
Look, just because I've been rolling so badly, I'm going to look for footprints. There you go. 16. Any footprints in the dust?
The only footprints you see are your own.
Yeah. Oh, I have not entered the room.
Well, then there's no footprints in the room.
Great.
This
I might
place
grab-
was cleaned out a long
I
time ago.
might grab the candles, however.
Okay, you can go and get the candles.
Then the hidden door rotates.
Sadly, no. Nothing. You
Oh.
touch the candlesticks, nothing happens.
I don't think I'll be sleeping down here, but good to know that there are beds. Alrighty, I grab the candles, light one from light two, one from the light them from the torch, extinguish my torch, and now we have candles because that's nicer.
Hey, it's raining!
Yep, there it
Alright.
is.
Yay! It's a miracle, guys. They said it would rain and it actually rained.
And it actually rained, and Siri's like, "No, I don't like the rain. I have a
She's
puppy
already
on my
been for
lap."
a walk. She's fine.
Yeah, it's good that we took you out before, isn't it?
This brings you to everything that is down here.
Cool.
Unless
That
you want to
cool?
climb down a creepy well.
Well, unless the treasure is at the bottom of the well, it's not here. And Beryl is haunted by the voice that she heard down the well. But she's not going to go down the well just yet.
Okay.
It's like, oh, let's look upstairs because I did, and let's look upstairs. And then in her head she says, because I did think I see that light upstairs. Let's, and someone's clearly been here recently, so. All right, let's go back upstairs, shall we? Second floor.
Okay. How would you like to go upstairs? You have emerged into the kitchen, so you can go upstairs in the kitchen, or you can go back out into the bay
Which
window.
staircase
room and go up
would
the
be
main
quieter?
staircase. Well,
Because I remember you describing the bay window staircase specifically as creaky.
it was specifically creaky, yes.
I would like to use the stairs in the kitchen
Okay. You go up the stairs.
with stealth.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
A filthy 20.
Filthy 20. You move as silent as the grave.
Thank
Up
you
the
for
stairs.
that particular word usage.
Silent as those graves outside, you got a weird vibe off.
Yeah, those were not necessarily very silent graves. That's the problem. I've heard one of the people in them speak.
Oh no!
But Garret,
just crit failed himself.
yeah, your companion, however, Thamior, beating me to it. Oh dear.
Okay, you have a choice. Either you move silently, but Garret like fucking stacks it. And
Oh, split the difference.
catches it. Or we can split the difference, and you move up at a normal volume. Like
Your
you're not being
call.
loud,
You
but
are-
you're not
you are
being
the DM.
stealthy.
You are
Okay,
the
I'm gonna
DM.
Garret stacking it is fun, but no, it's fine. You move up. You're not being super quiet, but like you're not like thumping on the stairs.
Get to the top of the stairs, and I turn to him and say, maybe we should be a little quieter.
Sorry.
It's okay, just, you know.
Hey, when you get to the top of the stairs, there's a hallway.
What?
If you look south down the hallway, so the stairs kind of go up around a corner, and then when you get to the top of the stairs, there's another corner, and then you're looking down the hallway.
Sure.
So there is a branch. Off
This
the
would be
hall-
more for servants' usage, one assumes.
If you hang
Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me.
on. Okay. All right. If you look down this hallway, you can see a door on the left-hand side. There is also an opening on the right-hand side, which is presumably more hallway.
Great.
And at the end of the hallway, as far as you can see, there is another turn to the right, and you can see off down there as well.
Gosh, all right. Well, loads of hallways.
So
Well,
the
let's-
first thing you will encounter is the opening on the right. Then you will encounter a door on the left. Sorry, apologies. Then you will encounter another door on the right, and then you will get down to the end where there's another opening on the right.
First
So
door.
lots of options, lots to find.
All right. Well, before we go any further, I would check the floor for dust and footprints.
Okay, roll me an investigation check.
17.
Sorry, give me a second, just double checking something. Sorry, what did you get?
17.
17. The dust has been disturbed here.
Good.
Someone has traveled along this corridor.
Can I tell where they went?
They looks like they walked down and went through the door on the right.
I will do the same very quietly. In fact, before I do that, I would like to listen for anyone. I'd probably go up to the door and listen.
Roll an investigation. Or perception. Perception actually is better for listening. Roll
It's
perception
not.
check.
It's not better at all. It's 7.
You can't hear anything.
No, I can't. I'm like, I've gone deaf. All right. I can't hear anything. I would go up to the door and peek in. I would very, very quietly open the door.
Um, this is the master bedroom.
Great.
This spacious bedroom has walls decorated with wainscoting. What the hell is wainscoting?
Google
Wainscoting.
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 There you go. Wainscoting. Okay. So it's like, you know how it's like you have walls that are paneled to like hip height, and then that's wainscoting.
Okay, it has wainscoting. Excellent. And it has rusty oil lamps. A 4-poster bed stands against the south wall. Its bedposts carved to look like stags and wolves. Opposite the bed is a stone hearth with a black marble mantle that has a pair of elk antlers mounted above it, continuing the dead animal decor theme.
Fair.
A bare, dust-covered writing desk is set against the west wall under a pair of tall windows flanked by burgundy drapes. Other furnishings include a tall wardrobe in the northeast corner and an empty dog kennel in the southeast corner.
Oh. And there's no one in here.
No, but someone or someones have been in here.
Right. It looks like the bed's been slept in, say?
Yes.
I would like to investigate the writing desk.
Yes, please roll me an investigation check.
And as I do so, I say to Garret, Garret, when is a raven like a writing desk?
I don't know, man. When is a raven like a writing desk?
It's never like a writing desk. 9.
It is. There's nothing on it. It's covered in dust.
Great. Okay. When neither of them have been used in a long time. Sorry, I was just thinking out loud, really.
No, that's okay. That's okay. But someone's been in here, right? I'm not crazy.
No, you're not crazy. Someone slept in that bed. Like, there's footprints in the dirt outside.
Oh.
I don't know if we're alone in this house. Whoever that Baron was, he really liked his dog.
Guess it was a really good dog.
Well, I mean, most dogs don't get a headstone. Dog's name was Brown, by the way.
Oh.
And it said, the headstone of the dog said, loyal to the end. Sounds like a good dog. Alright. Anything valuable looking in here?
No. There's the furniture, the mounted...
Can I check in the wardrobe?
You can go check the wardrobe if you like. Roll an investigation.
Ooh, 17. Starts to investigate enough things, eventually you get a good number. Oh, Papa, you are also a good dog. You are. Very loyal. I'm not going to be able to walk after I get up. She's been lying on my legs for like an hour. No. My knees will be pushed the wrong way.
Wardrobe is empty, unfortunately.
Oh, dang it. But I investigated super good. No secret passages or doors or like compartments in it, under it, around it.
In the wardrobe? No.
Yeah. Okay.
The wardrobe is not a secret door.
Okay. So the exit to Narnia isn't there. All right. Great. Actually, I would like to investigate the kennel.
Okay, roll an investigation check to investigate the kennel.
15.
It's a kennel.
Great. I look up, like, to see what the roof is. Like, if there's anything on the roof. Is it fancy?
It's pretty fancy, yeah. Like, this is the master. The exterior.
always Phoenix. Hey, John, good to see you.
Okay. really want to kill that fly. It's out of reach. Never mind. Sorry.
What else do I find? There's nothing in there. All right, well, let's keep going then. I say, well, someone's been in here. I'd like to go out onto the landing again and see if I can follow those footprints, basically. Like, if there's someone here, we should find them. Find out exactly what we're dealing with. Maybe they're just wanting to get out of the cold. Yeah, it's probably at the bottom of the well, Thamior.
Sorry, I'm just double checking something.
Yeah, Karen's just checking the book for the gift shop. What would the gift shop even sell? I haven't found anything good here yet. Plus, for answers, a gift shop would be very helpful because the person there knows everything about the whole thing.
Okay. No gift shop. So are you leaving the bedroom the way you came in?
Yeah, and I'm probably doing my level best not to disturb anything either.
Okay. Alright, you are back in the hallway. You can follow the corridor around to your right.
Yep.
Or it turns, or you can...
I'm looking to follow the footprints in the floor, in the dust on the floor.
Okay. Well, roll me, what were we doing for footprints? Survival?
Yep.
Yeah, roll me another survival check to see if the footprints go anywhere else.
12. Potentially be the avatar of an Egyptian god. That one's Thoth?
Alright. You're not 100% sure, but it looks like they've gone further down the corridor as well.
Alright, well, let's keep going down the corridor.
Okay. As you turn around the corner, you can see a door at the end.
Stealthily, listening for any movement beyond.
Alright,
all that
roll
jazz.
Stealth and perception.
I'm making a big thing of moving quietly. 18, and a perception check. Oh, 19. Moon Knight's fellow works in the gift shop. Oh, right, okay. The person working in the gift shop might be potentially the avatar of an Egyptian god. I know. You're so lovely. I've got this really sooky puppy sitting on my lap, like giving me the big eyes. Yes.
Like it's so hard being Siri.
It is. We watched a really interesting thing on Netflix last night, didn't we? About the it's called Explained, and it's a documentary series that they basically explain a thing. They take a subject and in half an hour just explain why it does the thing. And we watched the episode about dogs and how they got to be the way they are and why they are man's best friend. Turns out dogs did it very deliberately. This was a choice by you lot, wasn't it? You sneaky doggo. And there was a bit that I found quite interesting was the Russian Siri, no, come here. It's just rain, you muppet.
But rain might be a threat, Josh.
Well, one of the things I found quite interesting was was one person who was explaining different dog barks, and there's what she just did was the bark that was the hey look hey bark, not the I'm worried about this thing. It wasn't low enough to be the I'm worried about that. It's just more of a you have a hey look at me or pay attention bark, don't you? And it's very irritating. But dogs are extremely good at reading human emotion. And there was a Russian scientist who did some experiments, basically did I think it was 6 or 7 generations of breeding foxes, going for the same traits as dogs were bred for. So the most loyal ones get bred. And after like 6 or 7 generations, these foxes were functionally domesticated to the point where they were just as good as dogs. They liked people just as much. They were just as friendly and sociable as dogs were. Same counts for babies. Different cries for different needs. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
All right. So you got an 18 and a 19.
Yeah, stealth, very quiet. Hearing, even better.
Okay, so I'm going to roll stealth for Garret, whose name I temporarily forgot.
Don't fuck it up, Garret.
Oh shit, he rolled a 2. Garret does indeed fuck it up.
Why did I bring this Muppet with me? He can climb through windows. That's all his skill set is. And he's a pretty good shot with a crossbow.
Hang on, let me just...
Well, do I hear nothing?
You do think... Your companion, however, yes. Sorry, guys. This is a tricky bit to kind of navigate.
Yeah, no, you're all good.
Several things that could happen right now, and I've got to keep track of what does happen. So you think you hear soft voices up ahead.
I think I hear some
behind
voices up ahead.
Unfortunately, Garret is not being stealthy. And
Clunk, 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 clunk.
Clunk, clunk, clinkety clunk. Okay. Oh, hang on. Went the wrong way. Okay.
I stop him. I like put him and listen again.
And you are listening? Okay. You hear a distant scream. Sounds like a man's scream.
How distant?
It sounds like it's coming from at least one floor below you.
Great. Does it sound like the same voice I heard in the cellar?
Roll a perception check.
15.
That's what I mentally said. You think so, yes.
Oh. Oh my. Thank you very much, an anonymous gifter. Phoenix, congratulations on your gift sub. Enjoy those sub emotes.
And to answer your question, Phoenix, this is the Book of the Raven adventure from Candlekeep Mysteries.
Yes, Phoenix runs a Candlekeep Mysteries game. On their channel.
That I'm hopefully not ballsing up, because in case anyone wasn't aware, so last week was the first time I ever DM'd anyone. Okay, so you have stopped Garret, who is making noise. You have heard a man scream from the floor below, you think. Garret has also heard this. You can tell by the look on his face. But you think you also heard some soft voices from up ahead.
Alright. Garret, that scream was unnerving and certainly worthy of investigation, but I think I heard voices from behind this door. I would like to go up to the door and...
because you have spoken aloud, even quietly, I need you to roll another stealth check.
Very well. 16.
Okay, you whisper very quiet. Okay, you go up to the door. What do you do?
Is it ajar?
No, the door's closed.
I would open it very quietly. I press my ear up against it first.
Okay.
In fact, can we retcon that I took a glass from the kitchen?
And hold it up against the door to listen. Okay. I need you to roll another perception check. See if you hear anything.
Hey, 15.
15. You don't hear anything.
I think this glass is cracked. All right.
Roll another stealth check.
That was being silly, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you say anything?
No, I would not. I'm like...
Okay. You just listened? Haven't heard anything?
And then I opened the door.
You open the door. Do you just open it all the way, or you open
No. I cracked the door.
Door opens a crack. And you peer through it.
Ooh.
And again, you hear a sound from the floor beneath you. It sounds like a snorting hog.
Fucking pigs. Well, that's good. We've now got the cook, the wherewithal to cook one properly. All right.
And you were trying to peer through the crack.
Yes. I had the good fortune of being in Japan for cherry blossom season, nearly a decade ago now, but by golly, it was pretty, yeah, absolutely. We had one day off, and we just got lucky, and we happened to be there for cherry blossom season, and it was so pretty. And what was interesting was, yeah, because it does, and people just follow it all the way up the country, don't they, Phoenix? They're discussing cherry blossoms in the chat, yeah, I was in Tokyo for it, and we went to one of the large public parks for them, and my companions and I were the only Caucasian people in sight, really, and I'm 6 foot, so I didn't have any better idea where I was going than anybody else in the group, but I was the one that could easily be seen. Like, I don't normally feel... Like, in England, I feel quite tall. By an Englishman standard, I'm quite a tall person. By Australian standards, not so much. Australians eat a fuck ton of red meat, and tend to be a bit taller. In high school in England, I was the tallest, or just about the tallest guy in the class. Come out to Australia, and I'm middling. It was so weird. I was like, wow, I'm used to being really quite tall and imposing, and here I am not. But in Tokyo, I was head and shoulders taller than the vast majority of everybody else. I was just like, where's Josh? Oh, he's there. He is right there. You can see him from half a mile away. So yeah, I was just like, look, I'll lead and you guys follow me, because I'm not gonna, because all the other people I was with were short stacks. Yeah, so I sort of led the way around this garden, and basically I got to dictate where we went for the day because I was the leader. Yeah, there was a little, like, it was a little ornamental village on an island in the middle of a lake. It was super pretty. Yeah, I'm glad I caught it too, because I spent the rest of the week inside a convention center in Chiba, talking about oil and gas.
Hey Josh, do you want to know what you see through the crack of the door?
I'd love to. Sorry, I was just talking to chat while you read your book.
That's all right. I wasn't
what
sure
do I
whether
see
to
through the
interrupt or
crack in the
not.
door?
I didn't need that long. Yep, so you've heard the sound of a grunting hog from downstairs, and
I
you're
have.
looking through this crack in the door. You can see, so this is the next floor of the tower. There's another round room.
Interesting.
Tiny crack in the door. You can see the opposite wall, a broken window. You can also see a large amount of rubble on the floor.
Oh my.
Because you remember when you're outside, you'd seen the top of the
there
tower,
was a
part of the
hole
roof had fallen
in the roof.
So you can see the rubble on the floor. You can't, however, see any people.
Ah, Dreaded GM is raiding!
Oh,
Raid emotes
hi.
in chat, everyone! Hi, Lynx Mima! Good to see you. Thanks so much for the raid, Dread! Welcome, everybody. We are playing a story from Candlekeep Mysteries, 1v1, DMV player. This is Karen's first DM experience, first time DMing a story, her second session at it. She's doing great. I'm having great fun playing a Southern Belle dwarf named Beryl, who is absolutely confused and really creeped out by this little story. Guys, thanks so much for the raid. I hope you had a great time. I hope you were playing D&D as well. I believe Dread plays Storm King's Thunder on a Monday night. Having played Storm King's Thunder my own self, it's good fun. I hope you're having fun with it. Yeah,
but Josh, Beryl is on the second floor of the rather creepy abandoned chalet Brandifex. He has heard, she, Beryl, has heard in the last few moments a man scream and a grunting hog noise from downstairs. She has opened the door just a crack and can see the rubble from where part of the roof has fallen onto the floor of the room ahead and the opposite wall, but you can't see anyone.
All right. Truth Seeker, welcome as well. Hi guys. Thank you so much for the raid. Smash the follow button if you fancy it. We are a D&D channel. Karen and I run D&D Monday nights and Thursday nights. And we also have other nights that we do stuff as well. I play Warhammer on Tuesdays, for example. If that sounds like your jam or your marmalade, smash the follow button and we will continue our adventure.
I just got a gift sub. Thanks, Anonymous Gifter.
Anonymous Gifter is being very kind tonight. Don't you love Anonymous Gifter? Anonymous Gifter gifts more subs than anybody else in the world.
Gifter does good work.
What a bloody champion.
But you need to decide, what's Beryl want to do?
Beryl would like to continue into this room, basically, because I did hear voices from in here. I heard other stuff from other places in the house, but I heard actual voices, not screams of a dead man. Presumably from the thing that killed him. This is Beryl's assumption. That animated mimic heart thing is so good.
Oh, is that what that is? I was trying
It's
to
a mimic, yeah.
Okay, Beryl is undeterred. You walk into the room. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, I say to Garret, one thing at a time. We'll check out the scream and the hog in a minute.
And you open the door, walk into the room?
Yeah.
Okay. If you look to your left, out of line of sight from the crack in the door, you see 4 humans.
Right.
Clustered together.
Do they look happy?
Give me a moment. They are wearing sandals and dusty black robes with scarlet sashes tied around their waists. There appear to be... Sorry, I'm flicking back and forwards here a lot. 2 male and 2 female. And 2 of them old and 2 of them younger.
Right.
And the older woman sighs and goes, well, we tried. And then looks at Beryl and kind of raises her hand and says, we mean no harm.
Neither do we. What did you try?
And as you say that, you hear the man scream and the grunting honk from downstairs again. And...
Is that a ghost? It feels like a ghost.
And the young woman and the young man both smile as those noises. And the young man goes, not quite a ghost.
Oh. Shelley von Miller, thank you very much for the follow. Sorry, this is... Beryl says... What do you mean not quite a ghost? A poltergeist? What?
Oh, and the young man's like, I'm sorry, it was not clear. That was me. And
you were making the noises.
That was me.
Oh, I see. All right. Were you trying to scare us off?
And the older woman, she's very calm. She's very matter of fact, and she's like, "Well, yes, we were. We prefer not to be disturbed."
Who are you?
We are the Order of the Scarlet Sash.
Sure.
I'm Madrina, and these are my fellows. And she gestures to the older man, and she's like, this is Taspar. And then the young man, this is Rennick. And then the young woman, and this is Vinique.
Nice to meet you.
You said we? Is there another?
Sure, if you don't mean any harm, this is Garret. Garret, come on in.
And Garret will tiptoe hesitantly in the room and give them a little...
We don't mean any harm either. We were led here by a raven.
A raven?
Yeah, there was a bunch outside before, but the one we met on the road was mighty insistent that we come down. As in, attacking Garret until we decided to go in the correct direction.
The human woman, the older woman, Madrina.
Are they
she
all
looks a little-
human?
They're all human.
Yeah.
They're all dressed the same in the robes.
Yep.
When you mentioned the ravens you saw outside, she exchanges a look with the older man, Tasvar.
Can
But
I
when you
incite
mentioned
that?
that a raven... Yes, you can incite that. Roll away.
Oh, 10.
It clearly means something to them, but you don't know what. But when you
I can make some inferences. Like Josh is making some inferences anyway. If it clearly means something to them, Josh is Beryl is assuming. Okay, so these people are they are aware of the whole carrying souls thing. Basically, is the inference that she's making.
Okay.
Carry on.
Okay. But when you mentioned that a raven was very insistent about you coming here, she looks a little confused.
Sure.
What do you mean a raven brought you here? Like it led you?
No, more like followed. But whenever we decided to not go in the direction it wanted, it got quite sulky with us.
I see. And where is this raven?
Well, it didn't follow us in. I assume it got us where it wanted us to be. What is the Order of the Scarlet Sash, if you don't mind me asking?
We'll find if there is a... Is there a good description? I feel like I read a... Sorry, God.
What? What, little puppy? Would you like to get back up on my lap? Would you like that? Hop up. Hop up. You can do it. Come up. Come around here.
There isn't a spot where they like write a good description, so I'm just gonna wing it from the various bits.
I would just what is it more than what do they look like?
Oh.
What is the purpose of you? Why are you here?
Well, that is our business.
It is. But this house doesn't belong to you, or does it? Because if it did, I feel like you'd have told me to leave with some authority by now, but you haven't. You've tried to scare me off, which means that you don't want people intruding, but it also means that this doesn't belong to you, otherwise you'd be within your rights to tell people to go.
Well, the place is abandoned.
That's fine.
We use it
You do.
as a base source.
I see. If you don't mean no harm, then it wouldn't do any harm in telling. I won't spread it around, will you, Garret?
Garret, look.
Have I ever heard of the Order of the Scarlet Sash? That's a good one to ask. Have I
Roll
ever
a
heard of
history.
this? Okay. Like, in my profession, I hear of loads of people and strange groups of people. 14.
No.
No.
This isn't ringing a bell for you.
I'm afraid I have not heard of your order. Are you a secret society? Everybody dressed in the same does sort of feel culty to me. Now, I've met some nice cults in my time, but more often than not, cults don't tend to mean anybody any goodness.
The older man speaks quietly. Oh, yeah.
You have got so many burrs in your tummy, little dog.
The older man speaks and just says, like, we mean no harm, but we do have secrets. And the
All
woman
right.
And the woman speaks again, and she sounds like she's not mad at you, but she's reluctant to tell you exactly what is going on here.
Right.
In short, we try to remove evil things from the world, and sometimes we need somewhere to keep them temporarily.
Are you keeping an evil thing here?
Temporarily.
Right. Not down the bottom of that well downstairs, I hope.
Oh, good lord, no.
Good, good. I heard a voice down there. I assume that was one of you.
Down the well. And she
Down-
looks at the others and she gets some little head shakes. She's like, no, that was not us. But
heard
sad
it.
things have occurred here, so it's not unheard of that there would be whisperings.
It sounded like a man's voice asking where his dog was. One assumes the Lord, the Baron.
Yes, yes.
Sounded like his two daughters were something nasty happened to him.
Yes, this family was somewhat beset by tragedy.
Well, we don't mean you no harm. If you don't mind, we'll stay for the night and then move on. Is that all right with you?
Why are you here exactly?
Like I said, the Raven board us here. Seemed to want us to come.
And that was it. You went to please a raven. You had no motive of your own.
Well, the Raven was mighty insistent, and I've always found that when an animal acts in a way that is contrary to what you would normally expect, it's best to sort of follow that through, you know?
Roll a deception check.
I am not specifically deceiving. I am admitting. I am omitting other things.
Yeah, that counts as a deception.
Yeah, I got an 11.
She looks at you through narrowed eyes. And that's all?
Well, there was a map.
I see. May I see the map?
The map has the riddle on it,
It
or
does.
the poem doesn't. Yeah, I think I would say, well, we have our secrets as well.
May I say that you were bothered by a raven and followed a mysterious map to a building in the middle of nowhere? People usually only do that for a couple of reasons.
I
Are you
suppose,
looking for something?
yes, but I don't know what. I'm assuming I'll know it when I see it. But the place we found the map led me to suspect that it was an article of faith of the person who wrote the map, that ravens carried lost souls. Given that a raven was particularly preoccupied with that map, that's what led us here. And got very upset when we did not follow the map. And then immediately calmed down as soon as we started following it. This is what I mean by it wanted us to come here.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that I am in a haunted building, and I was led to it by a raven that was interested in a map, the owner of which, or the writer of which, mentioned an article of faith of theirs that ravens carried the souls of lost people.
So you think a ghost riding a raven brought you here to find something?
Look, stranger
Or
things
do
have happened to me in the last month.
I regret to inform you that there is very little here. This place has been abandoned a long time, and many looters have come and gone over the years.
Yes, I've noticed the ground floor is bare.
And we do not occupy the entire house. We use only a few rooms.
Well, tell you what, why don't you tell me which rooms not to go in, and I'll avoid your areas.
Well, we use the kitchen.
Do you mind if we
Master
also
bedroom.
use the kitchen and the master... do you mind if we also do some cooking?
I suppose so.
Where do I specifically need to avoid, I suppose?
Well, there are no real dangers here beyond, possibly stepping on a rotten floorboard and falling through. If there are ghosts here, they have caused us no harm.
No. Well, that's good. You said you have an evil thing here? Where should I avoid to not see your evil thing?
Oh, it is on one of our persons, so...
Oh, I see.
Assuming you don't intend to search us,
no,
you should not encounter it.
I mean, I'm not currently here as a law enforcement official, so no.
Roll a perception check.
That was said to possibly I would be checking for an insight as well, because that was a 7, so 9 all up. But I would like to insight their reaction. If you're looking for something
insight their reactions, well, you can roll an insight check as well. Your perception did not pick up any.
23.
Wow. Okay. The younger female woman, Vanique, she is carrying a broken lantern.
Oh.
And when she mentions it's on one of our persons, you can see her hand just kind of clench the handle of it. Just a touch. If you hadn't rolled quite so high, you would not have picked this up.
Sure. How do they react to me mentioning that I'm a law enforcement official?
They're unfazed.
Cool. Great. Awesome. Alrighty. Well, mighty nice to meet all of y'all. And I do appreciate you actually trying a non-violent sort of problem-solving situation to make me and my friend here bugger off. We promise we don't mean you no harm. We'll just do a spot of looking around, see if we can find whatever it was the Raven wanted us to find, and if not, we won't bother you no more.
So this Raven is outside, you assume?
Well, I assumed there was a mighty large number of ravens here when we got here. You probably heard them all leave. It was a bit of a commotion. Maybe, I don't know, what do you think, Garret, 20, 30 minutes ago?
Well, it was sunset, wasn't it, when we got here?
That's right. I don't know what time it is now. That was a genuine assumption. She's not sure how long it's taken them. It's probably taken them at least a couple of hours, actually, so...
The 4 people exchange looks again, but they don't say anything to that.
Sure. Do I think they know more than they are saying? Particularly about this Raven.
Roll insight.
7.
Yeah. These people definitely have secrets, but they're not willing to just be like, hey, this is what's up with us.
I get out the map. I say, look, I would say, look, all right. You don't have to tell me why you're here or what you want or what you're intending to do. But you seem to me like the sort of people who know more than you're saying. This is the map that brought us here, and I get it out and show her.
So you show Madrina the map?
Yeah. I'm gonna make a sort of a gesture of trust.
Okay.
A group of people who remove evil from the world, what do I have to hide from you?
Would you let Madrina take the map from you?
With the understanding that I will be lacking it back. I was like, this is not to keep, but here you go.
And she will take it. And
doesn't belong to me anyway, it's Garrett's.
Oh yeah, I suppose it is, isn't it? Madrina examines the map closely and then shows it to Taspar, which is the older man, if you're not keeping track.
I was not. Madrina and Taspar.
Sorry, I'm just trying to double check if it says exactly how old the map is anywhere. I do not believe so.
The book itself was fairly old, though, right?
Yes, it was old and battered. I'm just trying to see if it says.
No, Papa. Such a sweet little girl. You are. You're so sweet. So precious. Very sooky. Big puppy dog eyes. Oh.
Okay, I can't
Nope.
find exactly how old the map is. So you show it to
Taskbar.
Taskbar. And roll an insight check on Taskbar's reaction to
I would like to do that, yes. 18.
18. He looks like he recognizes it.
Ah.
And he leans to whisper in Madrina's ear.
What do you think, Taskbar?
He looks surprised that you've addressed him directly. And he looks at Madrina as if to kind of decide.
Well, you two clearly know something. Come on, help me out here. The sooner I find what I'm looking for, if it's anything at all, the sooner I can get out of your hair.
Taskbar says, I recognize the hand. I know who wrote the map.
Well, do you mind sharing that? Sounds like mighty useful information.
Well, I believe that it was the founder of the Scarlet Sash, called Anil Zaperdas.
Wow. Now that's mighty interesting. Maybe we have a common cause here. Because that map led me straight here. And that person, is that... are they dead?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Anil is dead.
Recently?
Oh, for a while now. I forget exactly how long, but he had a gift for hiding things. And possibly he... My assumption would have been that he would have hidden the map to lure curious people here.
Why?
Oh,
Why would he want curious people here if you're here?
well, possibly we might share common interests, or possibly he thought the idea might be amusing.
Well... Do you suppose it's beyond the realms of possibility that he's the raven that brought me here?
And Madrina, is like, yes, I think that's very unlikely.
All right.
Because if it was him, I see no reason why he would not have come inside. Or why he would have, no offense, chosen you two to come here.
That map was in this book. And I apologize, I'm not actually... I may have misstated earlier. The book and the map were not, I don't believe, written by the same person. Actually,
would hold out a hand to look at the book.
it wasn't me who determined that. Young Garret here is a very skilled calligrapher, knows his handwriting very well. I said, Garret, would you mind letting the gentleman see your book?
And Garret kind of will hand it over to Taskbar, who will flick through it and then hand it back and say, whoever wrote it, it was not Anil. The hand is completely wrong.
No. That was Garrett's conclusion as well.
I suspect the choice of book was an
Random.
amusement to him. And he looks at Madrina, who smiles very slightly at that.
I would like to insight this as well. Are they trying to fool me? What level of malarkey is going on here?
Roll an insight check.
A 19.
This is an inside joke between the two of them. They know something about the choice of book that you do not, and it amuses them.
You see, folks, my time in the watch, I gained a fairly good understanding of people. And without wanting to accuse you of nothing, I don't like it when people make a joke behind my back, as it were. Do you mind sharing what you find so funny about this? I can persuasion if you like.
Yeah, roll a persuasion check for me.
13.
13. Not quite high enough. Madrina just smiles at you.
Okay.
I suppose our preference would be that you leave and not tell anyone that we were here. But if you wish to poke around, we have no reason to stop you, as of yet.
Okay. All right. Well, come on, Garret. Let's go see if we can find what it is we're looking for.
And you leave the room?
I would like to have like a one more like glance around the room. Like, why are they in here? I suppose is the...
Roll an insight.
Is this a like their base of operations in the house? Have they got several beds in here? Or yeah, 15.
15. It's not immediately clear why they have picked this room. You would gather from the disturbance in the bedroom that that's where they
sleep. Yeah.
There
was only one bed in the bedroom. Presumably, they hot bed. They don't all share.
They share. They might hot bed. You're not sure.
Right.
The only thing that is kind of distinct about this part of the tower is that it is open to the sky. In here, because of the broken roof above, you can see.
Sure. And there's no floor above. This is because it's 3 stories tall, but this room reaches the roof.
If you are looking up, the floor above is destroyed.
Oh, okay. Is there a door into the floor above that we can see from down here?
You can't see from down here. There might be. There was a floor above you, but it's gone now. So you can see up through where the floor above would have been, and out into the sky through the hole.
Right. Okay. Cool. But there is no floor of the floor above.
No, there's some damaged remains around the edge.
Well, that's why I would say there isn't a door that I can see. Like, if there's no floor, I ought to be able to see a doorway in, is my logic. Oh.
No, there's no door.
Was that
There's
you?
a fireplace.
Gosh.
No door, but there is a fireplace.
Noted. Okay. Whew.
And some of it looks like there might have been a staircase on one side.
Right. That's interesting. But like, do you mind if I ask? Did you guys do this?
Do what?
The damage to the room.
Yes, it was an accident.
Oh.
It appears that someone was using had an interest in alchemy and had left a number of vials and devices up there, and turns out if you interact with them in the wrong way, they explode.
I hope everyone's all right.
Oh, we're all fine. It was a while ago now, but yes.
Can I insight on the others when she's all casual like about that? Filthy 20.
Filthy 20. The younger two look like they don't know anything about it.
Right. Okay.
But Taskbar kind of does that kind of thing where you're like, yeah, it was a big explosion.
That was a big one.
That was a big one. Little
Fair
big
enough.
old hole in the roof. Yeah. So he and Madrina remember it, but
Okay, that's interesting. Alrighty. Well, yeah. Well, we'll try to stay out of your hair. If there's any more sort of, I'm going to assume from now on that any spooky noises I hear aren't you.
well, unless any other strange people turn up to poke around, yes, that's probably safe to assume. Yes.
Noted. And you were the ones who barred the door, one assumes.
Oh yes, a while ago now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alrighty. Well, have a pleasant evening. If we run into each other again in the middle of the night, yeah, remember, we didn't mean any harm by it. Sleep well. Maybe we'll see you in the morning, if not. Don't worry, I don't plan on telling nobody you're here.
We appreciate that, thank you.
Cool. Garret and I continue onwards, and maybe we'll catch one of the younger pair on their own at some point later. And as we leave, when we're out of earshot, I turn to Garret and say, well, those are clearly up to something and know way more than they're sharing.
Yeah, they didn't seem too keen to tell us what they're doing here, did
And
they?
that's fair, I don't mind that. It's more they know why we're here, I think.
Well, they seem to think we would here to be nosy.
Well, that's not our intent, is it?
I suppose not.
Though I suppose it is a little bit nosy of us to even come into a house that's clearly locked from the inside. All right.
Suppose. Well, what do you want to do now? Should we keep looking around, or should...
Let's head up to the 3rd floor.
Okay. To get to the third floor, you haven't actually found a staircase that's been set for you.
Well, then I explore the hallways, and I make no effort to be stealthy anymore because the people we were trying to hide from clearly knew we were here from the get-go.
Alright, well, there's a bit of corridor you haven't been, you would have passed it, but you didn't investigate it at all.
I'll go up that bit of corridor.
Alright, at the end is a small spiral staircase.
Oh, there we go. There we are.
But there are 2 doors on the right. One is open, one is closed.
Well,
You'll pass them on your way to the spiral staircase.
Have a look in through the open door. Maybe open the closed one as well. Why not?
The open door, it looks like a bedroom.
Yep.
It clearly hasn't been disturbed in years. It is covered in thick dust and cobwebs. There's a narrow desk with a mouldy mattress on it.
The desk with a mattress on it.
Oh, bed, sorry. There's a bed with a mattress.
I was like, that's a very interesting detail.
Yeah, there's a bed with a mouldy mattress, and a wooden dresser, a nightstand, a coat rack, and a padded armchair. There's also a mirror hanging on the wall. But it's all filthy.
Old and filthy. Noted.
Undisturbed.
Cool. I go, well, I've slept in worse places, but maybe the couch downstairs is more, would be less moldy. And the door that's closed?
If you open it, you see a very similar bedroom.
Same deal.
Slightly different furniture, but otherwise pretty much
My
the same.
guess with this would be Sylphane and Haluth's bedrooms.
They're relatively impersonal.
Oh, maybe guest bedrooms then. That's interesting. All right, well, upstairs we go.
Okay, you head up the spiral staircase.
How, in this world, how common would an alchemist's tower be?
If he was clearly a wealthy man, if he wanted to,
Practice
Do some
alchemy,
alchemy.
can do so. All
he
right,
could afford to do so.
sure.
in between killing animals, clearly.
Yeah, look, the man's got to have his hobbies.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Yeah, we go upstairs.
All right. When you get to the top of the staircase comes. All right. When you get to the top of the staircase, there is a door.
Mm.
Do you
Sure.
find
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
this door is stuck.
Garret, crowbar time.
Garret like flicks it around his wrist. And then proceeds to apply the crowbar.
Mildly concerned at how practiced you are at that. I'm not gonna lie, but I won't ask no questions if you don't tell no lies.
He fails to open the door.
Oh, do you need a hand there?
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Two of us can have a crack.
Yeah. I
Alright,
helped
so
him.
Rolling with advantage. Oh, a 10 and a 12. Still not quite enough. Like the door moves a little bit, but you haven't got it open yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I burn another bardic inspiration.
Oh, to give us a
Give him an extra d6.
excellent. With that last burst of juice, the door flies open.
You come on, man. You've got those big bulging halfling muscles. You come on. There we go.
And the door flies open.
There it is. Well done, Garret. Don't put your back out,
Alright.
though.
You are now in an attic room. There are
You know
two
what's
gates-
really good about how hard that door was to open?
What?
They haven't been up here.
Well, they can go through this door.
Well, there wasn't another staircase.
All right. There are two gaping holes in the roof here, exposing the attic to the elements.
Lovely.
There is a scattering of broken clay roof tiles, some splinters of wood, bird droppings.
Oh.
The floor has started to rot in a few places.
Be mighty careful. I might actually... Sorry, carry on, but...
The rafters, there's a few birds' nests in the rafters.
Sure. Raven nests.
There are two wooden bed frames against the north wall. And between them is a wooden storage trunk that is locked with a rusty padlock. There's also a pair of tall, narrow wardrobes.
Now that's interesting. It's all like... How big a room is this? Is this the width and length of the house?
No, it is not the width and length of the house.
Is there a door at the far end?
It's not quite 20 feet wide.
Okay. And not the length of the house?
It's smaller than the tower room.
Right. Oh, okay. And is there more attic beyond, one would assume?
There is another door to your right.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely checking out that box. But let's... first of all, I think I'd like to just make a check on the floor to see where's safe to stand. I don't want to go through.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
All right. Oh. 8. 12. All up.
Oh, all up. The floor isn't in good condition, but you're pretty sure it's not gonna collapse on you.
Not gonna give under my weight. All right.
Yeah, you're pretty sure if you walk on it, it should be okay.
Alrighty then. Yep, I go over to the chest, check out the cupboards, everything.
Okay,
The chest, you say,
is
it's got a
locked with
padlock.
a padlock, so you can't open it. You would have to.
Well, I don't think I've got lockpicks, but that old crowbar of Garrett's. Although Garret might actually be alright with lockpicks.
I don't think he has lockpicks.
Oh, well, never mind.
unfortunately.
Well then, let's try the crowbar. Brute force this, it's rusty.
All right. Garret looks at the chest and he's like, "Well, how do you want me to do this? Do you want me to try and like lever it open, or whack the bolt a few times? What do you think?"
Yeah, just give it a blow.
Okay then. And Garret will whack the padlock with his crowbar.
Unless he's got something more better than like a hammer or something.
Nah, he's got
No.
bladed weapons, so
Yeah.
he's probably not prepared to.
No,
smack
you don't want to get a dent in your blade.
Oh, unfortunately, he only rolls an 8. So, he does not break the lock, unfortunately.
All right. Well, let's try levering it open then, shall we?
Okay, do you want to help me again?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. I'll hold the chest while you try and lever it open. Yeah, I perform the help action. But the way I do it is like I hold it so that it doesn't move while he.
I just rolled a pair of 17s.
Nice. There we go.
So yes, he pops the padlock off its.
There we go.
Hinges, and you can now open the chest. Congratulations.
All right. Open the chest.
Okay.
Big money, no whammies. She's like, please be something good. Please be something good. Not old moldy old clothes. Not moldy old clothes.
Inside you find
Moldy
a
old
suit of
clothes.
studded leather armor, sized for an adult human. You also find a leather helm, which is clearly made to go with the leather armor. A heavy crossbow, a wooden case with the monogram BB, and 2 hunting traps. It also contains 15 crossbow bolts with crimson fletching.
Heavy crossbow. I am not proficient with. I am good with crossbows and hand crossbows, but not heavy crossbows.
Do you mind if I take the arrows then?
No, you go for your life. Neither of us can wear the armor, but you might get a pretty penny for it. Well, this has justified the mission, certainly. I was kind of hoping for more, but studded leather is a fairly valuable set of stuff. Let's leave it here for the now. I don't want to have to carry it around with me. I might be able to make some modifications and wear it myself.
Alright, that is all that's in the chest. I believe you said you wanted to check the wardrobes as well?
Yeah.
The wardrobes contain more of the robes that the people you encountered earlier were wearing.
No, that's
So
interesting.
There are black robes and red sashes hung up in the wardrobe. There are 5 of each. There are also the sandals they wear. So there's 5 full outfits that match the ones that the people were wearing downstairs.
They've been using this place for a while, hey. Interesting that they never bothered to look in the chest. Not the
Maybe
hardest
it's-
thing to open.
Maybe it's not the sort of thing that interests them.
Yeah, maybe they just don't care. Look to be wizard folk, you know?
Mm.
And if they were... Because they were doing magic to make those noises, like throw their voices
Yeah.
sort of situation. Right,
They
right,
were
right.
just they were trying to magically deceive you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not the worst piece of... not the worst thing to find. Let's carry on. I reseal the chest. I don't obviously put the lock back on. If it's possible, I would like to make it look like the lock hasn't been forced. Just rehang it so that...
He literally busted it off the front of
All
the
right,
chest
all right,
by
then I
levering
don't-
it open, so you can't really hide that.
All right, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So
You say
there
bed
is-
frames, but there aren't any... The mattresses don't... The beds don't have mattresses on them. They're just bed frames. Like, they're not
It's
using
just
this...
the frames.
Yeah, they're not using the space currently.
They're not sleeping in the bed. They're clearly storing some clothes in there.
Sure.
So you can go back through the door and down the spiral staircase, or you can go through the door that was on the right when you.
Oh, I
entered.
keep going in the 3rd floor.
Okay. So you enter another room.
Because so far, I haven't been able to find out how a light would have been on in the window up here.
All right. This room also has holes in the ceiling.
Sure.
You can see the sky through 2 large holes in the peaked roof of this attic space. Much of the area has fallen prey to the elements, causing the objects stored here to rot. The room is filled with old chairs, tables, benches, hunting trophies, rolled up rugs, a standing mirror, and similar unwanted decor. Leaning against the east wall are 6 flat rectangular objects wrapped in canvas sheets.
Flat rectangular objects, like paintings, pictures.
It could be pictures. Yes. The shape seems to indicate so.
Okay. Anything else of interest or value? Investigation check, perhaps?
I roll an investigation check.
18?
But as you move into the room, a tiny bird flutters out of hiding and flees out of the roof.
How big a bird? Not a raven?
No, just a
Like a
small
finch?
little, yeah, like a little finch. Clearly was hiding in here away from the night cold, but you
Fair enough.
disturbed it.
It doesn't have to leave. I was like, oh, don't worry, little friend. I didn't mean nothing.
Your inclination is that if anything in here is going to be of value, it will be the items that are wrapped up.
Yeah. All right, let's have a look. Is there any other doors as well?
There are no other doors, but these two rooms would not
Be the whole
make
third
up,
floor.
not make up the whole third floor.
And that window I saw light in, or I thought I might have seen light in, wouldn't be the window to one of these two rooms?
No.
So
So
there
if
was
there is another
another
room
way
here,
up.
You can't get to it from these rooms.
Well, not yet. Like, if I think there would be another room, would it be beyond the wall at the far end of this room?
The tower would be the top tower room. Would be
the
the next
wall
room
be
along in this direction.
Right.
If you're facing south, the tower would be southwest.
Okay.
But
But there wasn't a door to that tower because
There's
they
no
got
door to the tower either, so you can't
No.
get into the top tower room from here either. But
because
you
there
know
were
that room
stairs
exists.
up.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to go through from the
That's okay.
second
I don't want to go in there anyway. I don't want to bother them.
But there, in your mind, there must be another space up here. But
Sure,
you
sure.
Can't get to it.
Okay.
All right.
mean-
You are unwrapping the objects.
Yeah, I would gingerly the smallest one, if there is major size difference.
You find a painting showing 3 deer grazing on a hill backlit by the dawn.
Oh,
It's a nice
nice.
painting.
Is it well made?
It's a good painting.
And has it been well preserved from the elements?
Yes, because they've been wrapped up in canvas.
Yeah.
They are
Oh, okay, cool.
pretty good condition.
All right. Well, I would rewrap it. It's like, well, that's nice. Can I do an Arcana check on them to see if there's anything spooky, otherworldly, magical about them at all?
Sure.
11.
They don't appear to be magical.
Okay.
There are 5 more though.
Well, yeah, we keep going.
Okay, you
Looks like-
find another
Well, that's
painting.
nice. Maybe we'll
showing-
get some cash for that. I don't know.
You find another painting that shows a grey mastiff with a dead duck in its mouth.
Sure.
Uh,
Hunting stuff. Got it.
Another one which depicts an armored human knight on a hippogriff.
Oh, wow.
The knight shields bears the holy symbol of Torm, the god of courage and self-sacrifice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The 4th painting is a portrait of who you presume to be the Baron, because it is an older gentleman quite richly dressed.
Which
he looks-
would any of these be the right size for the thing above the mantelpiece in the downstairs living room?
This one you just unwrapped looks like it might be a match.
Feels like that one. Right.
Yep, the Baron is seated in a chair. There is a grey mastiff asleep at his feet, and a tall, thin woman, also in her 50s, is standing next to them. She has one of her hands resting on the Baron's shoulder, and the other one holds a bouquet of roses.
Hmm.
From what you can tell of the painting, these two seem to genuinely like each other.
There's affection in it. Okay.
The painting seems to have captured affection between this couple.
Nice.
The final 2 objects are gilt-framed mirrors.
Oh.
One
Now
is
those
cracked,
are valuable.
and one is not.
Less so.
In your reasonable opinion, the unbroken mirror would be worth at least 50 gold pieces.
Well, there you go, Garret. That's
And
at
to the
least
right buyer, you could get a similar price for the paintings as well.
Right. Okay. Well, that right there is a minor treasure haul. Add to that the studded leather. You got yourself a reasonable treasure here. I still feel like this isn't what we came for.
I just can't work out why the Raven would want us to come here.
But it did, right? I'm not insane.
Felt like it, didn't it? But
Yeah.
they don't. If they know who the Raven is, they're not letting on.
Well, they don't think. I think. Look, my insight on this would be that they think it's a private joke between the two of them, but it's a very strange thing to do when you're not going to be around to enjoy the joke. You know, I've never understood a practical joke that you don't actually get to see the end result. You know, like I'm going to inconvenience somebody in the future. What's the point of that? It's like mailboxing.
Oh yeah, I hate when people do that. That actually happened to my parents' street when I was a kid in the real world.
I've been mailboxing, like, with a bunch of friends, but I want to stress, I did not destroy any mailboxes. And afterwards, I was like, what was the point of that? And they were like, because they were all like, let's go mailboxing. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, let's do that. What's mailboxing? I'm like, oh, it's super fun, you'll really enjoy it. And it was, as we were going along, somebody got a baseball bat, and it was just destroying stuff, and I'm just like, so the game is break people's shit. And they're like, yeah! And I'm like, you're all assholes. Like, what? Why are we doing this? And like, well, because it's
smash the mailboxes. They were ripping them out of the ground. So they were literally they would lift the mailbox clean out of the ground because most of them on posts.
Yeah.
And then just toss them on the lawn.
We're like,
One of them they'd moved it a couple of houses down.
You've mildly inconvenienced everyone. Why?
Yeah.
What?
We're like, what was the point of that?
Assholes. Yeah.
But that is all you can find up here, Beryl and Garret. That is what is up here.
Okay. Well, I mean, I probably want to stay for the night. Maybe cook up the leftover pork and then head off in the morning with our pictures and a mirror. You know, we could probably get a couple of 100 gold pieces apiece for all of this. This is all right. Not a bad week's jaunt, but I really don't think this is what we're here for.
I think there's a room a floor down that we didn't go into.
Oh, all right. I also don't think we've seen everything on this floor either. Is there?
Not big enough, does it?
No, I think would there be a wall on the far end? Would I be able to access a wall to the space that I don't think we've gotten to yet?
Sorry?
Would there be? Well, let's go downstairs and have a look at the room we haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Maybe that'll be where the other staircase... There must be another staircase, because I'm pretty sure there's more room up here that we haven't seen.
Yes. Okay, cool. Well, let's go see if we can find it.
Alright, we go back down and have a look at the room that he thinks we haven't seen yet.
Cool. So yes, if you go back down the spiral staircase, you come back out into that hallway, and if you recall, when you went down the hallway towards the tower, there was a door on the left. That you didn't
we didn't. All right, well, let's have a look in there.
You didn't go through the door on the left.
Well, let's have a look in there then.
Okay. The door is unlocked. You can go right on in.
I would knock.
No one responds from inside the room.
Okay, yeah. Just because I know they inhabit this area. Don't want to catch anyone unawares or undressed or whatever.
You go in.
We do.
Against the west wall is a handsome roll-top desk.
Hey, lovely.
Desk. There's 2 leather-padded armchairs by a fireplace. That's carved with images of wolves and stags. There's a theme here, you know.
I'm with it. Yeah.
Liked hunting. Draped over each chair is a wolf skin.
Oh wow.
And there is a narrow spiral staircase on the east wall that is choked with cobwebs.
Boom. That's what we're looking for.
Floor.
There you go. I'm really glad I didn't have to break down a wall to get into that room. I would have felt mad as silly if I found a staircase.
Yeah, that would have been... they might have come and intervened if we started trying to knock a wall.
Hey, they've destroyed bits of this house too.
They said it was an accident.
Well, this would have been an accident as well because there was a staircase. Anyway, we didn't have to. But that roll-top desk is mad interesting.
Well, let's have a look.
I investigate the roll-top desk.
It is locked.
That would explain why I got a 1 on my investigation. All right.
If you want it, you either have to try and pick the lock, or you can try and hit it with a crowbar.
I'm not good at opening locks.
And Garret just like holds up. He's like, "Do you want me to hit it with it?"
I mean, look, don't hit it with it. Let's lever it open. Let's break the lock rather than break the whole thing. Is it because is it a nice desk? It looks quite a nice desk in my head.
It would have been a nice desk. It's very old now.
All right. Well, if it's wooden, wooden desks don't they just unless it's like rotten.
It's not rotten. It's just dusty.
Okay. All right. Well,
This room isn't open to the elements. So
I'm gonna try and pick the lock out of respect to the owner of it, or the previous owner of it. I'm gonna try and pick the lock. I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I get out a couple of hairpins and twiddle the lock a bit. Basically, try my luck.
Okay.
Sleight of hand.
Yes, roll sleight of hand.
A 13.
13. Oh my goodness. You just did it.
Hey!
You picked the lock. Congratulations.
I go,
The desk holds a set of calligrapher's supplies.
oh!
Yeah, eyes just pop up. It's like, yes. There is also, so there's, old parchment, there's quills, there's ink. Garret.
All the good stuff has been in locked rooms so far, so this is good.
Garret is in like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna restock all my supplies. I'm gonna have all the ink colors again. This stuff's old, but because it's been locked inside the desk, it's
a good nick.
It's in good nick. There is also a leather-colored journal with a stylized wolf head on the front cover.
Oh, Peter. I would like to read the journal.
Okay, are you going to sit down and have a decent read, or are you just gonna have a flick?
I'm gonna flick through it, then pocket it if nothing immediately jumps out at me, either figuratively or actually.
Okay, roll a d6.
Like a D6. So, what is that in reference to in that song? Like a D6. A 2.
I have no idea. Chat, anyone? Do we know what the line is on?
Is it a D6 or is it a G6?
Oh, or are they talking about a V6, like a car?
Like a G6, far east movement featuring the cataracts. Now I'm feeling so fly like a G6. It's about the car or the plane. Catchy electro pug song like a G6. It's like a G6, not a D6. Okay.
It would have been feeling so fly like a D6, and I'm like, no. You want
You want a D12,
so fly like a nat 20,
Yeah.
Okay.
A 2.
You rolled a 2. Okay. When you open the journal, you realise this is the Baron's wife's journal.
Oh, that's actually more interesting.
It is. And the entry.
What's the name of the wife? Is it Haluth?
No. The Baroness was not buried in the graveyard.
Ah.
I'm like, if her name was mentioned, I can't remember.
Don't worry about it if it's not mentioned, but...
Yeah, it kind of just refers to the Baron's wife. I don't think her name is explicitly stated anywhere, which is a bit rude, really. Whoever wrote Candlekeep Mysteries. What the hell is the Baron's name? Unless they've just missed it. Phoenix, you've read this mystery. Say what the Baron's wife's name is? Yeah, because it just says it's the Baron's wife's.
Well, you could just make it up.
Helen. She's called Helen.
Helen.
So the entry you open it to describes how the Baron loved his trusty mastiff, Brawn, as much as he did his wife and children.
I don't know whether or not to be insulted on their behalf. I love my dog, but not as much as my wife.
She's relatively understanding of this fact, but she did dislike it when he would feed the dog food off the dining table.
Right.
She didn't want him to do that.
She wrote specifically about that in her journal.
Yeah, she wrote specifically that he loved his dog like a whole lot. She's like, which is fine, but I wish he wouldn't feed the dog from the table.
Fair. Alrighty, cool. I note that I pocket the journal for later reading. Is it full?
I would say it's 3/4 full.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Garret, find anything else on the desk while I was perusing?
Nah, just kind of restocked my kit, really.
If there's a fancy-looking pen and some ink, I would acquire a fancy-looking pen and some ink.
Tell you what, roll an investigation to see if you can find a fancy pen on the desk.
9.
Sadly, no. It's mainly
No.
just quills and a few kind of basic fountain pens. If there was a
Right.
super nice pen here,
I have an ink pen anyway. I don't need one. Yeah.
right.
All right. Cool. Alrighty. Anything else in the room? There was some chairs. The wolf skin. Is there like bookshelf or anything?
No, there is not.
Interesting. Alrighty. So it's a study that's very light on books. Have I seen a bookshelf in the hall anywhere in the house?
Look, Meta, there hasn't been a bookcase specifically referenced yet.
Interesting.
So for my own efforts, I was like, they weren't really into books.
No, that's fine. Totally interesting. But I'm just like, that's interesting. Rich
I realised I forgot
rich
to
guy
mention-
liked alchemy but doesn't read.
Hey, maybe there were books in the Alchemy Tower and they got...
That would probably be where they were kept. Yeah.
I should also say, this study is the room where the top of the staircase, the other staircase comes out. So the main staircase, the creaky one, it comes out into here as well.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right, well,
So you
Shall
can
we?
go down. So you can go down that staircase back into the main part of the house on the first floor, or you can go up the cobwebbed, creepy spiral staircase.
take care, Jaeger. Have a nice evening. See you soon.
Hey, Jaeger, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, I'll go upstairs. I'll probably find something to break the cobwebs with, like a broom or like a stick.
You do have a crowbar.
I would probably use my sword to just sort of just cut, like one does with a big like a machete in a jungle. I use my rapier to just sort of clear the cobwebs away ahead of me, so I don't walk just straight into them.
Cool. You go up the spiral staircase, and at the top is a door.
Great, love doors. Is it open?
It is
A ball.
closed.
Is it
But you
openable?
can open it if you wish to.
I do
This door
so.
is not locked. Okay. You are in a nursery.
Oh no! Oh no!
The
This is
roof
gonna be
here-
creepy.
This roof is not broken.
Good.
There's no holes in the roof here.
You know what? This is the room that there was the light in the window, wasn't there?
Dust blankets everything in here, including a stone hearth on the north wall. There is an oval mirror mounted above it and an oval rug on the floor. Against the west wall, half hidden behind a curtain of cobwebs, is a bed sized for a young child, a rocking chair, a shelf lined with dolls, and a wash basin. And if you look to the south, there is a small wooden cradle, a wooden playpen, and a window box. And hanging above the playpen is a mobile made of brightly coloured painted fish on hooks.
No.
So it's safe to assume this is where the two dead daughters lived. This room
Yeah.
has not been disturbed.
Would it be? Is this the room that I saw the lie down in? Maybe. I
So
thought I
there
saw
may
a
be
lie
light
down.
you maybe saw, but
Yeah.
you're not sure. Maybe.
Yeah. Great. What's the vibe of this place? Like, social insight or arcana to like.
That's up to you. You can roll
how
an
creepy.
investigation. You can roll an insight. You can roll arcana. What do you want to find out about the room?
I would like to firstly look for any sort of magical residue about the place. 23 for my arcana.
Oh, shit. Sorry, hit the wrong button on my computer. Give me a moment.
Oh no. Stuff's
typing.
happening. Oh
Like,
dear.
I'm probably being overly...
Dramatic?
I'm
gonna
probably
ch-
being too picky.
maybe change the music to fight music.
Oh, you got a 23.
Yeah.
You getting a, you know how you had a creepy vibe outside by the graves?
Yeah, more so?
You're getting a creepy vibe in here as well. It's for a 23, I will tell you that it is stronger from the area of the room where the bed is rather than the cradle.
Okay.
Because there's clearly an area that was for a slightly older child that had a bed, and there's an area that was clearly for a much younger child because it had a cradle. And you get a not so good vibe off the bed area.
I am drawn to the bed area then. I will investigate the bed area. See if I can see what's going on. Like something clearly, I say to Garret, clearly something bad happened here. Do you get in that vibe as well?
Well,
they did say something bad happened here. Very tragic.
Yeah, I mean, one assumes they're dead.
Well, they were buried outside.
Oh. Then they're definitely dead then.
And someone has to be around to bury them. I wonder if somebody has to be around to bury them. It's abandoned now. The father, the Baron, his dog, and the 2 kids are buried outside. But the lady of the house, the Baroness, she was not.
Well, I guess she didn't die here then.
Well, no, one assumes that everybody else died and she left.
I guess. Well,
or there was no one else to bury her.
One assumes they would have had servants, right?
Well, I think we found
place.
servant areas, servant room downstairs. Yeah. So even if she died here, they would have buried her, sure. So maybe she upped and left. The whole place was packed up, so maybe she meant to come back and never did.
I don't know.
I'm going to go over to that area and investigate it.
What specifically would you like to do? So there's the bed there. There is a rocking chair. There's the shelf with the dolls on it, and there's a wash basin.
Well, dolls are always creepy. Let's look at the dolls first.
Okay. What do? Do you just look at them? Do you move them? What are you doing?
Let's say move them. Have a look at them, see if there's any of them. I love it. You're smiling. You're doing the DM smile, like, good. Move the things. I look for any that are particularly well used. Like,
they're all smothered in cobwebs and dust, so you can't.
Sure,
tell.
I would probably blow the dust off.
There are 5 dolls on the shelf.
In fact, I would prestidigitate them clean.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's like wax on, wax off. And I go... and then, once they are all clean, I go, now, which one was the favorite?
Okay. So there are 5 dolls, going from left to right. The first one is wearing a pink dress and has fair hair.
We've been rated by Serum76.
Oh, hi, Sarah! We just found a shelf of creepy dolls. Welcome.
We did. I'm super excited to find out how badly this fucks me up. And how badly I'm going to sleep tonight. Raiders, welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. Serum, what were you doing? Hang on. There we go. Shout out at Serum76. Boom. This will tell me what they were doing. Forza Horizon 5. All right, cool.
Ooh.
Motor racing game. Fun. Yeah. Well, I hope you had a great stream. Oh, doing a test stream. We're getting back into it, Serum. Finally. Good to hear. Yeah, thank you so much for the raid, just to get everything working in. I understand. Well, yes, we know where that's like. Yeah, we are exploring the Chateau de Brantifax, that was the one. From the Candlekeep Mysteries, the Book of the Raven.
We are in the attic nursery, and Josh has just prestidigitated clean a shelf with 5 dolls on it.
Yep. So there's a one in a pink dress.
Yep, there's one in a pink dress with blonde hair, and that's like a china doll. It's very delicate. The next one along is more of a soft cloth doll.
Like a ragdoll sort of situation.
Yeah, it has little ringlets of hair and a blue dress.
Yeah, that was my feelings as well, Serum. The third one is basically a ginger Chucky.
Yeah, that one. It's got
heads
like
rotate slowly.
Got a bolt through its neck. Looks hella messed up.
Well, whoever gave that one to the daughter clearly didn't love her very much.
And you got more of a Raggedy Ann doll, where it's not meant to look realistic. You know, it's got a little trundle for a nose and wool hair. And the final doll, excuse me, is wearing a little floral frock and a matching hat.
Okay. Which one is the most worn?
Looks like the Raggedy Ann doll.
Raggedy Ann doll. Interesting. I would pick up the Raggedy Ann doll then.
The second you touch it, there is a thwomp.
Hey!
And you feel the air in the room shift and become cold.
Got it.
Excuse me, I have to go open up my pre-marked page in the monster manual.
Oh. Pay dirt.
Well, you have just awoken a poltergeist. Oh shit, I probably shouldn't tell you exactly what it is.
I actually don't know the stats of the poltergeist off the top of my head, so that's probably fine. Oops. I mean, this is sort of what I was looking to find, Phoenix, at this point. Like, I was sent here for a reason. Spirits, yeah. I was looking to find exactly this. So yeah, Do I roll initiative? I would like to not roll initiative. What happens?
A shadowy, smoky form appears appears behind you to make it extra creepy. So in the center of the room, between you and Garret, appears the smoky, shadowy form that looks like a young girl of about 6.
Oh my. Oh, hello.
And she screams at you.
All right.
And roll initiative.
Oh, great. Great fail.
Oh well, shit. She only rolled a 2.
5.
So.
I got a 5.
You got a 5. She's got a 2. So at the moment, you're going first. Let's see how Garret does.
I am still a little stunned.
Garret, where's your initiative?
And Garret gets even lower.
Garret crit failed as well.
Amazing.
I was joking. He rolled a 1. So you both rolled 1. So you got a 5. He gets a 4. And she rolled.
Now we find out how good the dex on a poltergeist is.
And she rolled a 2. So.
After you, no, please, after you.
It will be you, Garret, and then this ghostly figure, but she does get a surprise attack.
Very well.
Because she has appeared between you, and as she screams, leave, you feel... Alright, you will need to make a strength check as you feel an unseen force slam into you.
Oh gosh, alright. Strength save or check?
Let me see. This is a contested check, so you need to roll a strength check, and I will be rolling a commission check. Actually, Samuel, you're active over in chat. Roll me a charisma check, please.
Just straight 1d20 in chat.
Just roll a d20.
Yeah. Exclamation mark, roll space 20. Yeah. And I will make... Is it athletics or just straight strength?
It is a strength. It just says strength check.
Alrighty. Then I'm a -2.
Well, we only got a 9.
6.
Sorry?
6. I'm an 8 -2. Even athletics wouldn't have done better.
This
I
is
get
going
knocked
to
backwards.
send you flying backwards.
Oh!
Because one assumes you turned around when
Yeah.
this creature
Yeah.
appeared. So
I was
yes,
talking to it.
yes, you turned around, said, "Oh, hello," and she screamed, "Leave!" And this sends you flying backwards. Now it's up to 30 feet, but I have a feeling you don't have 30 feet to go.
No.
So
It's be
yes.
slamming into the far wall.
You'll
Probably
be
underneath the
slammed-
shelf
you'll
where
be
the
slammed
dolls are.
into the wall, unfortunately. But as it's not very far, it is just 1d6 of damage.
Very well. How much do I take?
Phoenix, you're in chat. Roll me a d6, please.
Exclamation mark, roll
Roll
space
space.
6, please.
And see how hurt Beryl gets being slammed.
Just nothing. One would be fine. Low is good. Now, is that an attack?
Technically, yes.
3 on the dice. I take 3 points of 3 hit points worth of damage. Interesting. Thanks very much, Phoenix.
It's basically a ranged weapon attack.
Yeah, if it's a ranged weapon attack, as a reaction, when a creature that is not immune to being charmed you can see within 60 feet makes an attack roll, ability check, or damage roll, you can expend 1 use of Bardic Inspiration, roll the die, and subtract the number from the creature's roll. Oh no, I don't think I can do that in this situation. Because there's a damage roll, so I could reduce the damage. But it's more me hitting the wall, so I don't think that makes sense. Now, alright, so it's my turn?
It is now your turn. You have been slammed into the wall. You have taken 3 on the dice, 3 damage. So she's smacked you around a bit.
Alrighty. Have a good night, John. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you. See you soon. Have a good stream tomorrow, one assumes. I don't know if there's a day John doesn't stream, so sleep well. I would like to charm person.
Oh, does charm person work on? I don't think you can charm a ghost.
Charm a humanoid you can see within range.
Yeah, I would say you can't.
Alright. Because she is humanoid.
Yeah, but... Yeah,
she's undead.
No, yeah, she's a ghost. She doesn't have, like, a corporeal form.
And she doesn't need to. I'm talking to her. Or, actually, here's a better idea. I cast sleep on her.
Okay.
But, and I want to be clear about the way I do this, I would like to say, well, now that's mighty unkind of you. Maybe you should go to sleep. I think, young lady, is far past your bedtime. And I gesture to her bed.
And cast sleep?
Yes.
Okay. How does that work? Do I have to roll anything?
No, I roll. Basically, I have to beat her hit points to send her to sleep. And I roll. I'm gonna use a 2nd level spell slot to do this. So it's cast. Well, yeah, but then so roll the damage. All right, fine. I just said cast it, and it's like, yeah, sure, done. And I'm like, well, no, come on. And then it's 1d8 for every spell slot. Oh no, 2d8. So I can do 7d8s.
Jesus.
7d8s. I'm going for broke here because I want a lot. That. 29. Not amazing, but pretty good. 6 or 7. It's 7, yes. For 1 minute. She goes back to sleep.
Between an immunity and a resistance.
Resistance is you get advantage on you take half damage if it's attack rolls and stuff, but if you're resistant to it and it's just an effect, you just you get advantage on the saving throw.
Sorry, you said resistance twice then. So what's the difference between resistance and immunities?
Immunity is it just doesn't work on you.
Oh, okay. Nothing happens then.
She's immune to being charmed, is she?
Yeah, you try to put her to sleep. She does not.
She doesn't go to sleep. All right. Well, I still said the thing though, so I would like to convince her to go to bed.
Right, roll a persuasion check. How do you do a contested persuasion check?
That is a nat 20 plus 5.
But she doesn't want to. How do you resist that combat situation?
I would say a charisma check of her own.
Okay.
Straight charisma, or if she's proficient in persuasion, which I doubt she is. She's a poltergeist.
Okay. So you contest it with a wisdom check.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so who's still in chat? Who wants to roll a d20 for me?
Damigo's still there. The serum might still be around.
Roll me a d20 to see if she resists Beryl's very emphatic suggestion that she goes to sleep. Nope. Anyone else?
Baba. There's loads of people here.
Can I just
choose a one? She'd have to roll pretty well to, 6, there you go. She'd have to roll pretty well to resist my instructions.
Yeah. She doesn't. But she doesn't so much go to sleep as she dissipates.
Okay. Well, that'll do. I put the doll back on the bed. Little girl wants us to leave. I wonder if... I'm going to address the room. And say, now, thank you for calming down a little bit. We don't mean no harm. We just came here to make sure everything's okay. Now, clearly, you're still here for some reason. And that's sad. Maybe there's something I can do that can help.
Nothing happens.
Maybe you'd like to talk about what happened between you and your sister and your dad? All right,
Your suggestion that it go to bed appears to have been very successful. The room is now eerily quiet and still.
Okay, well, that's interesting. All right, well, I think Garret... Garret, what do you think?
I think we should go.
I'm inclined to agree. It would seem that she agreed that maybe it was time for her bedtime. Look, that is probably the best way I've ever diffused a fight before.
A little annoyed, to be honest. Finally got to run a combat and you convinced it to go to sleep.
I think it was an appropriate response to the situation. Cool. All right, well, we leave then, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want to disturb anything up here, even if there is the most expensive child's mobile ever seen.
All right. You are now reasonably confident that you have been to every room in the house.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go down that well, aren't I?
But if you do plan to go down the well, I think you might want to do it next week. Because we just hit 3 hours. We haven't taken a break.
No, we have not. Well, I don't think we're near a resolution just yet. So let us put this on hold, and I will try and put Beryl's voice on hold. There we are. It's hard to stop. All right. Well, Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Those of you who've been hanging out for a while, Bali, Thamior, Nextraconis, if you're still around, throw favorite moments up in chat because we should talk about favorite moment. I have a couple, and I suppose it's me to go first now because I'm the player. Oh my. Well, favorite me moment I think would have to be picking up the doll, knowing that something horrendous was going to happen. I'm very happy with that decision because it made sense in world and also as narratively. I'm like, well, something's going to have to happen. Yeah, that was my favorite me moment.
Oh. I don't know. I'm a little brain blown now. I really love like your quiet persistence with the Order of the Scarlet Stash, where you're just like, you should maybe tell me stuff, and they're like,
no. I was like, go on. Like the high stealth rolls followed by the very bad stealth rolls.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
If one of us fucked it up, the other one did not. Guaranteed. Yeah.
Basically, if they heard you coming, they would try to distract you.
Fair.
So yeah, they heard you coming, so they tried to send you away, but you were very determined because you rolled so high, you'd heard them talking in there.
Yeah.
But yes, they're very reluctant to kind of tell people what they're up to. So
sure.
you'll have to put your charm on even harder if you want to.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go back and talk to him. I mean, after that, I will be going down the well. Just out of curiosity, because they did not know about the well. And I'm like, there is a ghost here. I've seen it. They're not trying to make me leave, and I'm not gonna leave just because of a ghost. So, as they've already established, so that's not them. Yes. Alrighty. Well, favorite DM moments. I think my favorite DM moment is actually you as a DM. The smile on your face. Every now and again when you're like saying, oh, this is bad, this is good, this is bad because something bad's going to happen and the thing you're doing is a great thing to do because something interesting will happen. That, definitely.
I was trying very hard not to be like, there's another room upstairs, you should go find it. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, go upstairs, there's poltergeist. Yeah, no, I will be exploring this whole house. Yeah, Beryl's like, no, I think I'll find it when I see it, and I'm worried that I just found it. I'm pretty confident that the Raven needs that little girl. Lost Souls. Yeah. Favorite self moment, DM?
Oh god, I don't know. I'm still not sure if I'm doing a good job at all. It's like, and you do the thing. Shit, I need to flick back and forth between the different pages of the book. Does the Baron's wife have a name? I don't remember reading her name. I'm pretty sure they don't actually tell you her name. So she's called Helen now.
Cool.
Thanks, Samuel. Oh. And yeah, it's... Yeah. I did like that last little stretch where you were sneaking up on the cult. And
yeah,
they were making weird noises. Trying to decide whether you're going to go after the weird noise or...
It's like, in a minute, I'm going to find out what this is first.
Yeah, it was good because sometimes the noises come from above you, so I think your reaction may have been different if you'd heard a noise from the floor above rather than below you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, we tried. And I was just like, you did. Why? You did try. I appreciate it. But why exactly? Cool. Alrighty. Well... we should go away from here now, Karen. So, yeah, thanks very much for coming and hanging out with us, everybody. Thank you to the new follows.
Yes, welcome to the
Spitheria. Yes. Can you not bite my hands? Thank you. It goes to everybody, but Siri specifically. Yes, you're biting the hands. No numbing.
Fun Siri fact for audiences out there. Siri had one baby puppy tooth that she took a while to lose. It like hung around for months after all the other ones. Yep. So she just had one really sharp tooth in her mouth for months. Yeah. And so she would nom you, and if she got you with the sharp tooth,
And there's still, her teeth are still a little bit like the one that did eventually push it out, because she had two. She just had
And
on
she
the
had a
bottom.
double tooth,
Yeah,
a shark tooth.
her shark tooth. Ooh ha ha. But that one is still smaller than the other. Hasn't grown out fully. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
but
Ooh,
it was
little
good
tooth.
when the sharp tooth went, wasn't it, sweetie? You couldn't
Yeah,
stab us
totally.
with it anymore.
Yes. Very cute though. And very sweet. She's holding hands.
Nice.
Holding hands with Daddy.
Big soup.
Yes. You are. You're very sweetie.
Anyway, we'll be back on Thursday in the Humblewood. If
We
anyone
shall,
else-
and I will be back playing my ogres tomorrow night for Total Warhammer. Yeah, I am currently running a legendary campaign of Cathay, and it's a bitch.
There's
But
been a lot of cursing.
there's been quite a lot of cursing. Gotten my head around it now, but I don't normally play on legendary difficulty. I have never beaten a game on legendary difficulty, so this will maybe be a first if I can manage it. But yeah, tomorrow I'm not playing on legendary. I'm playing at a normal difficulty level because I want to actually achieve something and not shout at it. And the ogres are really fun to play, so we'll be doing that tomorrow. Vacation over here, so kids will be here tomorrow and might not be able to visit. We'll see. Well, Thamio, one way or t'other, it's been lovely hanging out with you. We appreciate you
coming
whenever you
tonight.
do drop in on us. Well, guys, yeah, Karen, who the heck are you?
Well, I'm Karen. I am a performer and writer, sometimes a puppeteer. I like rabbits and have pet rabbits, and they're really cute.
Have they
you can follow
visited
me-
this evening?
Oh, they have not visited tonight. They might be hiding in their hutch out of the rain.
Yeah,
Or knowing these two sitting
sitting in the rain, being grumpy
looking
about being
cross.
wet. Yeah.
Because they do that. It'll
'Cause they're
be wet and
stupid.
rainy, and they'll be sitting out in the rain going, well, this is unpleasant. And I'm like, you have so many places to go where you'd be out of the rain, and you were sitting
You even
in
know how to access some of them.
I've said that now.
Yeah.
I can't see them. So wherever they are, they're hiding. They're hiding. Yeah, you can hear my dulcet tones on the There Be Dragons podcast, which is a gunpowder D&D podcast that you can find wherever good podcasts are found or via the link in chat. We should have a new ep coming out featuring my bad Spanish accents.
It's
for one of
probably
the
'cause
NPCs.
it's probably where Castellan is right now, like editing, because he should
Seriously trying to finish it.
be. And it's partially my fault because I had to do some ADR for him, and I didn't get it
We
to him
both
very
did.
quickly.
We both had to do it, yeah. Anyway, soon.
But I was slack about it.
Yeah, and that's about it for me at the moment. I don't have a ton on right now, and
It's really nice. Yeah. We need to go
Anyway.
away and get more things on our plates because that's our next task, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's tomorrow's job. Alrighty. And Madame and Monsieur, Dama under Heron, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on Corsair's Cove. You've done that. Congratulations. Well done. Keep doing so, please. Thank you for the follows, everybody. You can check us out on our socials. ! Socials.
Where I sometimes post memes I have created.
Oh, I cannot spell for shit this evening, so yeah, there we are. And our YouTube is pretty much up to date, where you can check out all the episodes you may have missed, with like one exception, which I'm currently arguing with. It just doesn't want to translate. It's recorded in a weird format for no apparent reason. I think I do know what happened. When you just like use your mouse to scroll over, like you just try and scroll down a page. When I was changing settings, I was in a settings menu. If you just
you accidentally changed the setting.
if your cursor just happens to roll across a drop-down menu, it auto-scrolls in Stream Elements. And as you're scrolling down, it will scroll across, so it scrolled to a different setting that I didn't intend to change. And nor was I aware of what it did when I did change it. So it's in MKV format, which is pig, to
That
translate.
one again.
No, it's the same one. It's still we're
It's the
still
same one.
arguing
We're still
with
talking
that.
about that same one.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, which is probably why Nova did not upload it, because I sent it to him. So I'm going to upload it. So yeah, we'll do that. And yeah, Siri is now occupying my arm. So I'm typing left-handed about Ukraine. Ukraine
Yes.
is currently undergoing some stuff. As you may or may not be aware, there is a fairly major war going on over there that the Ukrainian people did not pick, and we are trying to help out, do what little we can by directing people to the Emergency Action Appeal. Over 8 million Ukrainians are currently homeless. Because of that, and homelessness speak to us because we were nearly homeless earlier in the year, and that's sucky. Over $3 million has already been raised towards this, and if we can contribute a little bit more, that'd be groovy. So if you do have any spare pennies in the coffers, consider chucking them that way. Thanks so much. Any donation over $2 is tax deductible as well. So keep them receipts.
Just ignore the lag.
Tiny penis driving by.
Oh my god, no!
It's so little. I mean, it would be impressive if it was like a bigger motorcycle, but it's clearly just a crotch rocket.
It's so tinny.
It's
That's
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you did not like that noise at all. She jumped out of her skin when I did that. We know a new thing that Siri doesn't like.
You didn't like the kalimba? Kalimba?
The look on her face.
Alright, well, we clearly have to go to the dog with weird noises.
Oh, that's excellent.
Oh my god.
Hello, yes, I know. It's a weird noise. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm going to make that noise. I rarely make that noise to the point where she has never heard it before.
Oh. Hey Josh, the Eldritch Stribe is still streaming.
Let's do that. Let's go raid them rather than the other way around.
Punch and...
Alrighty, well, we will go and raid Eldritch Scribe. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Throw up your favourite raid emotes in chat. Tell them where you came from. Eldritch Scribe, Des and them are lovely peeps. They're still playing D&D now. Daria plays with us on Thursday night, so if you want some quality D&D stuff, go and check them out. Thamigo, you're very fucking welcome.
I love having you in our chat.
It's always lovely. Guys, yeah, we'll go away now. Karen, say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.